this 1999, we all saw what happened the last election when what do you call him, Vice President, former Vice President Atiku came up and said he want to be president. They should vote for him. And people ask, the last person that was president was from the north. President Buhari is from the north. You now you're from the north. You want to be president again? He said no. He said his own political party. The last person from there was from the south. That's Jonathan. So he's the next person from the north. He should be the next president. And people now say, are you not considering the interest of the country? Why are you considering the interest of your party? So you could see how party politics is dividing the country along some personal interest line and all those things. So, but the one I propose is non-party politics, where individual will come out based on your background, your credibility, from your local government, from your wards. It is from there the people will recognize you. If you are a criminal before, they will know. During screening, they will screen you out. So you don't need to be responsible or to any party or to any godfather. Don't need to go and register
Okay,
with
so
the party
is
and
there
start
a
paying money
cap?
because when
Is
you join the
there a
party now, you
limit
need
of
to fight.
contestants? The contestants.
Look at the ward level, local government level, there's no
No,
limit
no, no,
because I
no.
propose for
When the election, when presidential election, okay, okay, you're right. So it's not presidential. So who will be the head of government?
is the prime minister now. You see, what I
So how
propose
will
is
he
a
emerge?
rotational. Okay, it's a rotational presidency, rotational prime ministership this time around. It's not presidency. If representative, because I put it among the 6 geopolitical regions. If representative from northwest will come, all of them assemble at Abuja, from the northeast, from southwest, from everywhere. So they will
Okay,
decide
so
which
wait,
region is
Mr.
starting
Yemi.
first.
So there will be 6 premiers. You are suggesting that there will be 6 premiers.
There will be what?
6 premiers?
No. What I'm let me
Master,
finish
can you
let me
come
finish.
in? I think we're having, I don't know. Do I have permission to speak?
Okay, let me just finish that explanation before you ask your
Okay.
question. What I'm saying is this: the representative from each region, when they assemble in Abuja, they will decide the region that will start first. So if a region has been choosing to start first, if it is Northwest, for example, so those representatives from Northwest, they will pick the prime minister from there. After 5 years, is 5 years rotational presidency, will go to the South. If it is turn of the Southwest, they pick from the representative from the Southwest. After 5 years, they go to the North again. If it is North Central, they pick. So that at the end of the day, each region is well represented. Each region will know the time to be their own, and this idea of marginalization will be history. And if along the way, maybe the turn of Northwest now, maybe the prime minister died, also, they will not go to the south to pick another prime minister. They will still pick among the representatives from the Northwest until they finish their turn, their tenure, before we now go to another region to pick from the representative there. So like that, it rotates among these regions and nobody will start abusing each other.
I think Kiki, this is why the question Kenny asked was quite pertinent. If you can mute your mic, please.
Okay.
Because when he said one person wrote the constitution, because like what you are saying, like rotational system, I can see a situation whereby like the kind of government that this direct democracy that they have in the Swiss, where they have 7 presidents at the same time and they rotate amongst themselves. So if you did that because Nigeria we have almost 300 and something tribes or so. If you rotate, if you have a certain number of leaders that form councils, so you don't have one person overarching ruling everybody. They have 7 people. One, they are more intelligent because they have 7 heads instead of 1. And then they are able to make decisions among themselves. They have just one person representing them, which is their mouthpiece. So it's like you have a set of brain boxes from the national level to the local level. This is why if you want to change a constitution like Nigeria's, you better change it to something very, very significantly different, not trying to replicate what was happening in the 60s, because you are saying it's not going to be partisan. I don't see any system democratic system that is not partisan. It's almost like that is the whole point. You want to be able to argue
Forefather,
your
can I
case.
contribute a little bit, please?
Yeah. You can contribute. Let me finish my point. So that is the whole point of a democratic system. You have to be able to make your case, and to make your case, you have to draw contrast between yourself and the other party. Hence, partisanship starts showing up, and you can't escape it. That is it. So, personally, if you want to have a partisan system, you want to have it as representative as possible. You want to have it so that the leadership is as representative as possible and almost immediately as possible too. Because if you have to rotate through the 6 geopolitical regions in Nigeria, some people will be born and die and marry and die, and they will not see their person become president. You see what I mean? So you want to have a way of circling it, and so it circles faster. In a system like Nigeria, you want to be able to do that, and everybody you have to design in such a way that everybody feels like part of the system. First, you make the leadership like that. At least that's my argument anyway. You make this leadership like that, then you take it to the people so that the people will also have a lot of power. If you did that, and I'm sure any nation that don't like Nigeria would not want us to do that, because you can't bribe that system. You can't. It's impossible. But let me let some other person come in.
Okay. Can I go?
Okay.
Can I go now? I have
Yeah. Let Ferrari. If you want to, if you have a question or comment.
Not a question. I just.
Mama H.O. is here. Mama H.O., if you want to say something, you can override Ferrari, especially for him. You can override him anytime. Okay. Ferrari, please go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, see, as you dey find trouble, Ferrari with all the rest they talk since you know say make I.
Ferrari tries to look for my trouble now. It's only fair.
Don't mind him. He's trying to set me off. He knows I have a temper problem.
You want to set me up with
he's trying to set me off. He knows I'll go off. Cornel, first of all, thank you for your service. I said that the last time you spoke, but I think you're going, all of us here, you, forefather also, you're trivializing this issue of constitution, and it's the most important thing any country could consider in their conversation. And Cornel, I thank you for your service, but I want to tell you that you writing a constitution in itself shows part of what is the Nigerian problem. While I commend your effort in you trying to find a solution to what our problem is. What is part of the Nigerian problem? The part of the Nigerian problem is this. The failure, first of all, our failure to acknowledge the truth. That's number one. We don't speak the truth. We don't tell the truth. Our country has been built on a lie, and year after year, we increase the foundation of those lies. And then we tell generations of children born and unborn the same lies, and we perpetrate these lies. Now, to talk about constitution, first of all, we must first of all understand the concept of sovereignty. You understand? If you don't understand sovereignty, you can't talk about constitution. That's number one. Number two, Cornel, you cannot write a constitution for the people. It's not possible. It's an abnormality. It's part of this military mentality of I am more superior than the others. You know, this I can write a constitution for these bloody civilians. Constitution and sovereignty doesn't work like that. Now, what is sovereignty? Sovereignty is your individual right to existence. What the exact thing Fela calls human right, now my property. That's sovereignty. Human right, now my property. So if I want to live with forefather, I want to live with Mama H.O., I want to live with Cornel Adeniyi, I want to live with Jide, I want to live with Masca, and I want to live with Tone. None of them can write a constitution on behalf of these 7 people. Each of us must sit down and determine the terms of our engagement. That is what a constitution is. That's why it always starts with the phrase, we the people. Now, the critics of the 1999 constitutions are very right that it was a lie. Do you know that that constitution was not even in existence when Obasanjo was sworn in as president? So it was an afterthought. And then to make matters worse, they have to go back to put the word, the phrase, we the people. They put it in chapter Article 14 of the Constitution in an amendment years later. But yet, they lied that we the people came up with that Constitution. So let's leave that apart. So people like Forefather would argue that, well, we now have a pseudo, I call it a fake, it's not a real democracy, but we now have a democracy. Why not we do an amendment through this democratic process? Now, there's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. If the foundation is, if the Constitution in itself was not from the people, collectively, if the 7 of us who wants to live together, including Bumi, if we all don't agree, this is going to be the rules of engagement, and you came up with a document, that document, even if you amend it till heaven, you are amending a lie, because that foundation was in itself was a lie. Now, what makes that Constitution even worse, that Constitution was not only so badly done, it enshrines impunity. So I understand you, Colonel Adeniyi, you trying to come up with an alternative, but an individual, a tribe, and one state cannot come up with a solution to the issue of sovereignty, because sovereignty basically means my human right. Unless I donate it to you, I say, okay, I don't want it no more, I'm now your slave, which is what happened to us when the colonial people came. They took our sovereignty and they put us under the sovereignty of the Queen, the King of England. You got to understand that they took our sovereignty, which we had traditionally as natives. They took it, and then we now no longer have sovereignty. We became subject. Words matter and how we use it. So what happened during independence? But you all been going back, and Jide was right. Jide was saying that they gave us partial sovereignty. Jide, I want to inform you, there's nothing like partial sovereignty. It's like saying someone is partial human being. You either have full sovereignty or you don't have sovereignty. There's nothing like partial sovereignty. So we never had sovereignty. Even at independence, well, they had some document where the Queen handed over. Well, some people met to negotiate for our independence. They met, well, we could argue that to a certain degree, that is sovereignty. But it's a kind of sovereignty, where Jide was right. It's a kind of sovereignty whereby true independence is not there, because we still have to consult with the Queen. In fact, we never became a republic until 1963. Please, let's go back and read. So that means as at before 1963, we were still subjects of the Queen of England. So we never had sovereignty. So we became a republic in 1963. The Akitola, Awolowo, and the first military coup happened. Now we replaced the sovereignty of the Queen with the sovereignty of a dictator, the military rulers. And up till now, that has not changed. In 1999, what they did was a continuation of the military era, because it was a permanent coup d'etat against the populace, whereby the ruling elite hijack sovereignty. So people who argue that Nigeria is a zoo based on that because of the lack of sovereignty are right. The terms of citizenship in itself are missing from that constitution. Now, you're right, Forefather. Constitutions differ from world. The Chinese one is different. They had a communist system. What is laid out, I've never looked at it. They had the Russian one is system, more stricter. The Western one, the English one is different. Still the sovereignty of the Queen, which has now, in modern day, been mostly replaced by the sovereignty of the people, which is why they have a prime minister who still report to the Queen. But let's not go into what they have. Where Nigeria has failed us as a people is the failure for it to let us have that conversation on how the 8 of us are going to live. I'm using 8 of us based on those on this panel are going to live together. It's a legitimate conversation. And without that conversation, we cannot address the ills that are befalling us, because our problems are indeed foundational. You're also right, forefather. I'm not going to disprove your point on the fact that even if you get the right constitution, what about the people? But you have to understand, when the people come to the realization of their sovereignty, then and then only would they be able to protect it. But when they don't even know what sovereignty is, or assumed what a military dictator gave them is their sovereignty, or what the big man or the political leader gave them is their sovereignty, they're not going anywhere until that equalization of what current sovereignty is. Now, there are so many legal jargons that come when you talk about constitution and sovereignty. You could have what we call legal sovereignty, which I believe Nigeria has now. You understand? But if the people are saying that legal sovereignty, I mean legal, whatever people have said is your sovereignty, you're from the Queen or the military dictator or from the 99 Constitution, whatever that legal sovereignty is giving you, you still have that unwritten political power, will, to push out that legal sovereignty if it's not meeting your need. And that is why people or countries have revolutions. The removal of the Tsar of Russia, the removal of the Ds of Iran. So political sovereignty, which might come in form of demonstration, protest, military action, or violent revolution, or peaceful revolution, whatever name you want to give it, and still has more, because that is the will of the people. So any sovereignty that is not based on the will of the people is not sovereignty. And we need to have this conversation. They are valid, they are legit. I know, forefather, you were there on One Man to Mow that day. I was listening because Wale Okuniyi happens to be my classmate from last. So actually, I was 1 year his senior. When I was chief whip, he wasn't yet the president of the union. When he came to One Man to Mow show, and I tried to warn him not to go to that show because of their bigotry. I tried, but I couldn't reach him on time. And in full disclosure, I tried to get him to come to this show with Rudolph before Rudolph fell sick or Rudolph did whatever he did and he disappeared. Wale was right when he was, you were on that show. Daddy, I know you threw your question. I don't know if you listened to him from the beginning. He was part of the patriot groups that went to Tinubu to say, now that the country is going the wrong way, let us talk about this constitutional issue. Let me just stop there because others, I don't like to take up all space. I'm a very gentleman.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Ferrari. Let me just respond, because you said I don't have right to write constitution. See, what I have just done is my own.
Sorry, Mr. Denny, can I respond on your behalf on that so that you won't sound like you're defending yourself?
No, I don't want him to know, because it's like criticizing or trying to condemn.
I want to see in there. If I'm not capturing your perspective, then you can correct me. But what I want to say, Mr. Pereira, you made a very sound argument. But where I will disagree with you, I think we need to also understand that, yes, in life, ideals are always there, but the reality is always, all the time, not congruent with the ideal. The sovereignty you're talking about is an ideal sovereignty. It does not exist anywhere. There's no country today in the world that they sat down and say, okay, this is who we want to be. Even the America that we all talk about. If you come back to even the Nigeria we're talking about.
I disagree with you there, Master, but go on. I disagree with you there. I disagree, but go on.
So when we come back to Nigeria, even the component parts of Nigeria, let's say the north, which I would like to talk about so that you won't be insulting anybody. I'm from Kano, for instance. I don't think Kano decided that, okay, people in Kano and people in Zaria and people in Sokoto are okay. They want to, we sat down at any point and decided that we're common people. It had never happened. Somehow through history, somebody had decided that these places, I want to merge it. But crook or by hook, somehow he has merged that area. Even the Southwest, for instance, that looks a little bit uniform, we all know. It's not that some people sat down together and decided, oh, we're all Yoruba, we want to live together. It is not like that. It was through some sort of fighting and all that. And somehow people have to live with what they have. What I'm saying is that is the ideal. Sovereignty is the ideal. But for me, why I am going to support Mr. Adeni's effort is because in my head, there is a fine difference between the ideal, what I would love all my people to sit down and say, hey, we want to be in Nigeria. It's an ideal situation. But for me, the reality is that, yes, the country as it is today is not configured on sound footing. But at least, can't we find a way, at least to make the country work, even from just a common governance perspective? Isn't there something we can do to make the governance a little bit better? And I think,
Master,
Mr.
I have an answer for that. Master, I have an answer.
No, I'm not. Don't worry. Me, I'm just saying that. Look, I don't think the approach is for us to ask questions and answer. I'm just going to make a submission, a suggestion that yes, before that time when all of us would sit down and write our own constitution, I think Mr. Adeni's effort is a good step in the right direction, because what he has done is not to ascribe sovereignty upon himself, but to look at the governance issues that are disturbing us today. For instance, like the political party, I agree with him totally. It's just a mess. The man will be in this political party, tomorrow he will be in another. So why don't we just do away with the political bullshit, if it's possible? Secondly, the issue also is North and South. Why don't we organize it? Because some party will say, no, this is this. Another party will say, this is that. He is trying to address all these practical issues, not the ideal issues of independence, of sovereignty. And somebody like me, I know that no country, even America itself, if you ask me, is not an independent country, because their own foreign policy, when you look at it, why are they always going after the interests of Israel? Because in life also, I have seen situations where the tail sometimes wags the dog. Okay, what I'm saying is that independence, the way we talk about this ideal, we will all love it. I will love it, but I think let's work with Mr. Adeni's attempt. I honestly, I'm going to make effort to go for that public hearing, and I think all of us should aspire, even by proxy, to pay attention to what happens there at the National Assembly.
I'm not discarding the man's effort. He's doing a great job. But if we must come to solve a problem this magnitude, we have to come to it through the right way. It's a good suggestion. He's coming with his own constitution. But you don't write a constitution for the people, Master. That's why we have this problem. And some people don't want this to change.
Mr. Ferreira,
they don't want this to change because they've written it for us, and they are benefiting from what they've written.
This thing we are saying, who are we all? You are going to be in America, no matter what happens when Constitution is written. Are you going to come?
If there's the need for me to come, if there's a constitutional
there won't be need for you. There will never be need for all Nigerians.
in the union.
The point I'm making, Mr. Ferreira,
it is my duty to come.
I know you will come. I know you are a patriotic and a nationalist Nigerian. But what I'm saying is that the idea that all Nigerians will have to sit down and write the constitution is not going to happen. What Mr. Adeni, he has written it, but he's presenting it back to Nigerians. Let all Nigerians look at it.
Can I add something? I think I understand where you're coming from. And because at first I was more sympathetic to people that are saying he cannot write a constitution. But in reality, he's writing, what he is writing will represent a kind of contribution to the eventual constitution, in other words, because it's an idea, isn't it? As it stands right now. It's not an official constitution. So it's an idea that will be inputted, and then others will come.
We will
Like,
add.
can you imagine if I was there? I would say, remove that one, put that one. So
Yes.
that's how it's going to come across.
I appreciate your defense because you know 1999 when we started this democracy, I was in the officers' press with some officers, and I said this government, this constitution will not work because at that time I have seen a lot of loopholes there, and today I'm vindicated because it has ruined this country. You see, what I've just done is after checking the problems, the fundamental problem in this country, I said, okay, let me address it holistically. So that people, because, okay, they are asking for memoranda from people so that they will amend the 1999 constitution. And what I've done is has even addressed all the memoranda people are going to bring. Because people will be talking of want to be carried along in government, inclusiveness. And that is exactly what I've done. So that all the parts of the country, all the news, all the tribes, there's no how you will not take part in government, especially at local government level. And that is where I say it should be made the most important to the people. So don't criticize I've just made my own what do you call it?
No,
contribution,
and
then people can look at it, and then
when you do work, you should open it for criticism.
That is it.
I know you said don't criticize. I think you should encourage.
No. What I mean by that is condemnation. Maybe I use the word criticism wrongly.
Okay.
Condemnation, but that's what Mr. Ferreira has just done. I don't have right to support it. It's just a contribution that people can look at
as support for what Mr. Adeni has done. The perspective that we should all take is that, you see, he is not doing what the National Assembly is attempting to do, what even Nigerians are attempting to do. Because most of the people are attempting to say, let's amend the constitution. I don't like it. I believe in what this thing I call part dependence. Anything to do with that 1999 constitution is going to head us into a wrong direction. What the country will need is something like what Mr. Adeni has done, to take something completely different. Okay, maybe not completely different, but something fundamentally different.
Yes.
Hold on, sorry. Yeah, let's not get things completely. The only area that seems to be fundamentally different from what is being discussed at the moment in terms of amendment to this constitution is the rotational part. As a matter of fact,
no,
it's already happening.
You are not listening for others. No. There are many things, fundamental things he has said.
He talked about local government this in governance. To an extent,
that's one. That's very fundamental.
Yeah,
today the federal government is the most important. He is now reversing it to make it local government. That's number one. He is saying that
it's an illusion.
No partisan party.
Pardon?
What is not true?
No, it's not. It's an illusion that because local governments are functional, they are the most important. They are not still the most important.
No, that's what
the state government is still going to be the most important. And
this is why I like this is what I'm saying, that he has done something different.
The reason why at least the reason he gave anyway, why he said the local government is the most important is because they will be governing their local areas like normal some Western countries do. My point is that at the state level and the national level, those areas will still have higher gravity, and most of the resources is going to still be in their control. Hence, the pool will still be there to go to those places. So
no, you are getting me wrong. Sorry, father. Let me just stop. You are getting me wrong. From what I said, local government should be the most important is that this time around, local government will be the one collecting taxes of industries that are in their area. Then take 70%. You know, that's why holistically I want to make local government very viable, so that they will be there to give the people the basic services that they need. Local government will control 70% of the resources they are collecting on the surface, economic activity on the surface. Send the 20% to regional government, send 10% to federal. The job of the regional government will just to oversee and ensure that the resources at local government level are not mismanaged.
The nation is going to collapse.
It can't collapse. Okay, we have not finished because there are a lot of money coming to the federal from other places. From customs now, there are still federal government that is controlling export of issues and everything. The other things still coming to the federal natural resources. Federal government still control it and pay 30% to the local
Okay, so
government.
you are talking about only tax from local government.
The tax of economic
You
activities
were saying
going
resource.
on the surface, not underneath. You know, we have industries set up in different areas in the country. So local government collect because this issue of double taxation,
But in a
multiple
way, it's
taxation.
happening now already.
Yeah,
That's state government collects tax.
I'm not talking of state. State is too far from the people. I'm talking of
Okay.
local, because that is where the job is. That's why I'm saying that should be the most important. They are the ones to give you water, give you health care, give you education, give you all those basic things that we need to grow. Not state will just there will be no state from the what I'm proposing. We're going to have regions. The regional government will just be the one to oversee and ensure that local governments are not left behind. Then federal will come up with policies that will be carried out at local government level. For example, federal government will say the standard of primary school now. It will be implemented by local government standard of primary school, public primary school. This is how the federal and
But
state.
so you agree with me now, that you are not listening to the man.
I'm listening.
Something
I'm
different.
listening. No, it's not. It's, to
You
be
say,
fair, the more I listen, the more I'm worried that we are not paying attention to what is actually on the ground now. Like if you go to Lagos now, you hear that like in Surulere, you see some of these agberos and area people that I don't know what they are called. They collect tax. The tax they collect there goes to that's the local government area. They collect tax, it goes to the local government chairman, and then they will collect tax from different other areas. The tax are different everywhere. So I am worried that some of the things we are saying is not taking into account what is actually on the ground.
The tax doesn't go to the local government. It
Where
goes
does it
to
go?
the Agbero leadership.
I think it's local government. Agbero leadership is is giving the money to local government. The local government will pass it, some of them to Showolu. I don't know how they do it. Point is that they are taking it locally.
Forefathers, it's good to argue because even me, I don't agree with him that is the correct thing to do. For instance, in my mind, if you decimate the country's resources into pieces, then it takes away from the ability of, for instance, if you say every local government will have money, so who is going to do major roads, major bridges? Because the monies in individual local governments will not be sufficient, will not be enough pool. But why I am supporting the man is because I have come to appreciate the fact that if you don't put something first on the table for people to add or reduce, you will continue just to talk and talk and talk. What he has done, he has put in something substantially different on the table. It's left for every other person to say, oh, this one, because of ABCD reasons, I don't think it will work. But this one is okay. I like this rotational thing he has spoken. I also like this your idea of 7 sitting presidents or 7 sitting prime ministers.
That rotational thing is a real bad idea. We have 350 tribes, so we should have 350 rotations. That don't make
no, he's not based on tribes. He's basing it on geopolitical regions that are today existing, which is why I like the man. It's like he has drawn a line.
We should build a constitution that is based on merit, not on those old ways.
So why don't I make a proposal, Ferreira? Why don't you write your own constitution?
And I'm not supposed to write one. I'm supposed to participate in a discussion for creating one.
I'm not supposed to be in darkness now, but I am in darkness, Ferreira.
Go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay. And then Tone would say something before. Tone is looking at me. I know he's waiting to say something. And then Amy is there. Please go ahead.
When you go reach my turn, forefather?
Yeah, you are free to speak anytime, Mama Echo.
But now say me that they respect. I raise my hand. So the best way to talk finish supposed to land. Then you go call me. Now you call the distributor without me.
And okay, after Bumi, definitely you then. Then Stone and Emilokun.
So regarding the constitution and whether regarding the constitution, I don't think the man is basically saying that this constitution I've written, everyone was accepted and that's the end of the story. Absolutely not. it's a proposal, and it's going to be sent, and there's going to be public. What do you say? He's going to send it to the government, and they're going to oversee it. Now it's up to us to, because I don't think anyone here has read it. No one has read this constitution, and we're already criticizing it. We still don't know if it's something that's actually going to work for Nigeria, if it's actually something terrible. But we're saying one man shouldn't write it. So who will write it? Is it in a country where people are still struggling that want to sit down and write? Someone has taken the initiative and started. I think it's up to us to ask, where can I even read this? I've been sat here and no one has actually said, is there a place I can read this constitution? Let me even read it. Even if it's the worst thing on this planet, let me read this worst thing on this planet. I think, asking questions, it's good to ask questions, but there's also, because he can also be lying to us. What if he's saying something and he's going to submit something different? So I do think that we should also be part of the discussion, not just only like saying, "Oh, you don't do it until we all sit down." That's never going to happen. Someone has sat down and written it, which is fine. I think us as people should ask to read it, and then we can start highlighting certain things that we don't like. When it comes to the rotational one, there is no way in a country like Nigeria with over 300 that each and every tribe will have a president. What if that you want to write the constitution? There is no way. Let's not lie to ourselves. There will still be someone a tribe that will consist that would not have the presidency or parliamentary or whatever we want to call it. So if we think that each and every person will be fine, and that's why he also said that he's making it very sure that the local government has a lot of power. Once your local government is providing healthcare, education, all the basic amenities, the presidency would not look so attractive. So why the presidency is so attractive in our Nigerian society today? Because nothing is functioning. That's why everybody wants to go there and have their national cake. That's it. Let's not lie to ourselves. And that's why I said, if our local government is working, I have a governor in my state. I don't want to be governor because he does everything. There's nothing forcing me to run for any government position, because all the things I need is here. Only if I woke up and I was like, you know what, actually I can do a better job, that I'll be eager to. But we're not realizing that the reason why Nigeria is not functioning because nothing is working. That's why everyone wants to be local governors, everyone wants to be governors, everyone wants to be Senate, House of this, presidents. Once we fix those and make all those positions not attractive, basic amenities are being provided to every single person, then you realize that we start having sensible people in government. The ones that actually want to be there, not the ones that are going there because they want to find breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I do think.
But let me ask though. You see, the thing that makes a local government powerful will make the governor less powerful and will make the central government less powerful. That is the danger. If those higher level governing structures weaken, the whole center could fall apart. We had a weakened center in the 1960s and we know where it ended up. So that's the danger you could face.
And that's why, forefathers, and that's why we have to read the constitution he has proposed and see if there are actually loopholes that would create that kind of situation. We still don't know what he has put in place to counter those situations. Making local government very strong, that means you can personally go and find your local government. We cannot find Tinubu. I can't find that man. He's all the way at the top.
I totally agree with you. Can I put a challenge? Forefathers, can I put a challenge? Mr. Adeni, how many chapters are there in the constitution you wrote?
I have a copy of it. I'm still reading it.
It's not here anymore.
He's not here.
Cornell is
So
not
he's
here.
not around. Okay, Bumi, how many chapters are there?
I'll quickly check and then let you know.
Okay, anyway, so what I want to challenge to forefathers, Ferreira, Mr. Tone, myself, and Bumi. So how many of us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Tone
of
hasn't
us.
said anything though.
No, Tone, I know he's a patriot and a nationalist.
So Tone,
Yes.
they already paid you as somebody that is a troublemaker. Okay.
No. He's a nationalist and a patriot. Look, if there's anybody I'll vouch for on this platform, there are two people, Ferreira and Tone. And out of the two, if I'm to pick one, I would drop Ferreira and pick Tone.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So I am thinking that let's
Master,
take.
is it because of my temper?
Eh?
Is it
Both
because of
them
my
have
temper?
No. No, it's not because of your temper. It's I'm not too sure whether look, I've not heard you speak on tribal issues, but I've heard Tone speak on tribalism, so I know where he stands. I'm assuming I know where you stand, Pereira. I'm making a positive assumption on your behalf, but Tone, it's practical, it's been proven. Anyway, the thing I'm saying is that can we divide that thing into 10 and all of us take two swipes at reading the Constitution? Because half of the time we Nigerians, we like to talk, but we hardly do any practical action step. Reading is a beginning, it's a small beginning. So that even if the country doesn't do it, at least there are some people who have gone through. I know I cannot go through a whole constitution. I cannot. I don't have the time. I would not have the patience, as much as I claim I love the country, but I know what are my limits. So, but if we divide it into 10 or 20 places and begin to take responsibility, let 10 or 20 people read through. I think that's the.
It's 173 pages.
Oh, if we divide it into 20 pages, all of us should be able to read 20 pages and then compare notes.
Like from the way I look at these things is that if you look at all the systems that they have in the world, it doesn't even matter really. They have so many variations. It's ridiculous. It's not even funny. They have so many variations, and all of them, most of them work for the people that are doing it. Let me allow Mahecho, because she will just
no. But why do you say forefather?
Let's let Mama Ejo speak, because we are doing her injustice here. She's being very like she disappears the moment it's her turn. She doesn't say anything. Then you ignore her. Mama Ejo, please say something there before we go and forget again.
If I raise my hand, you not call me. Now new rules now we they follow.
Oh God. Thank you. I'm not gonna let you catch me out again. I will be calling you.
Akone, thank you so much for your hard work on writing the new constitution. So instead of us to sit here and criticize, let's go through it and put our input on it. Yes, we can get everybody from Nigeria, the 2 million people, to sit down. But there's what they call zone. We are product of zone. And we're also a product of state. So if a state governor can govern all the tribe in a state, we should be able to get a honest, people-oriented individual from the 36 states that will sit down and look into this constitution together. So, Daddy, thank you. Then you see, our men, una they disappoint. Nigeria bad today na caution. Nigeria no they go forward today na caution, whether directly or indirectly. Recently, I was trying to look at the House of Senate, the House of Rep, and I began to look for how many women are there. And I discovered that the percentage of the men there is almost 90% or 95%. And the only thing you people do is yeah. When my children enter into power, we'll change that. Because we want to see you vote, so that we'll know those who are voting against any bill or for any bill. Because with your we don't even know which one. The problem we are suffering today, now Nigerian men now go hold responsible any day, any time. Because for all the offices now plenty pass. The looting that is taking place, now they looter, now they aid the looting, now they celebrate the looting. Now they say, hey, Baba. Even some of them, when they Western world here, we don't want to make this situation change. You know why? Because one they go Nigeria, we are ready to prepare to go show off. And begin to carry my daughter in the name of Folosho. Hook up. Some of them go live with my wife for here. As soon as they plan Nigeria and they calculate who una don't even contact, who go give una hook up. So as such, Nigeria must not be good. Hey, chairman, una like her. Instead of teaching them how to fish, give them hook to fish. No, I prefer to give them fish so that they can respect and honor you. So if you people were God, what would have happened? What? We are coming, all of now when she say from senator downward, all of now when she say when are their power. The power when
there's no senator here, Mama Echo.
Huh?
There's no senator here.
They are representative there for comment section everywhere.
I don't represent anybody. Are you representing any senator?
Directly, I said directly or indirectly. Somebody know who knows somebody, who knows somebody, who knows somebody. When I pass this message to them. Because when they sit down, they take ukwabi and they drink pepper soup. Una dey there. These people who succeed. You see, I remember when I had a case in 2010, and I met my lawyer, who is still my friend today. By the grace of God, when I'm coming to launch Andamo Foundation or charity in Nigeria, he will come with me. When I met him for the first time, he asked me, where are you from? I said, Nigeria. He now said, are you people corrupt? I said, yes, we are corrupt. But the truth is this, you people, the West side, you are the father and the mother, us, the children of corruption. So you gave birth to us. Because when our leader looted this money and they were bringing it forth, you open your border wide, you allow them to bring it in here. They bought property cash, whereas your people will buy property in mortgage, loan, 30 years. They open back account, no nest of kin. When they buy, it becomes you people copy it. And when they want to take out of this money to home, you will say it is money laundering. They cannot take more than this. So when they were bringing it, if you had stopped them, there will be a corruption in Nigeria today. Then the second one, I suffered to get my degree in Nigeria. I bring it there. You look at it as a glorified secondary school. We know how we suffer. But the same leaders steal our money and use it to bring their children here. because they pay 3 times the amount your people pay, and your people does not pay cash. It is either federal government give their grant or they collect student loan. But my people will steal our money and use it to pay 3 times your school fees. If when they brought their children here, you drove them back.
So let me ask you though. Let me ask you which
now.
type of constitution, because we are talking about this.
When I'm talking,
no,
see, this is why we quarrel here. It's not fair.
No, I asked everybody questions.
Wait,
now.
I was talking. Let my line of thought flow through. You ask your question. You don't like to be interrupted.
I mean, so that it goes towards the topic.
I'm not talking again, please.
It doesn't have to be like that. I just wanted to ask you about what you would like to see as the kind of government you want to see.
Forefather.
Yes.
Have I ever interrupted you when you are flowing your line of thought?
No.
Then respect mine too. When I'm done, ask your question.
Okay, go ahead.
I believe in one thing. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Period.
I want people to ask me questions though.
Did I ask you not to ask me questions? I only told you, let me learn. Don't interrupt me, because I didn't script what I'm saying. So as he comes here, I speak out. So when you interrupt like that, you break the line of flow, and I don't like it.
Okay, understood.
So I told Richard, if your people has asked them to take their children back, go and build the Nigeria educational system to a standard, all this would have stopped. He looked at me and he asked me, what are you studying? I said, social work. He said, no, go and study law. Till today, it's still troubling me to study law. And at the end of the day, we became friends. My case that I took there, he said, you have won your case. As such, I will take care of the case. I was supposed to charge you $1,200, but I'm going to do it free because you've already won the case. So they know. Now we won't be mumu, now don't know. How can we borrow money from them? And we package, we steal that money and we bring it back. Does it make sense? How can we borrow money from them? We left Innocent Motor. We now come to their Toyota and use it to buy. Does it make sense? Even to my Yahoo children. Because I don't mention that part of you. In as much as I try to overlook, because I know say, now the nonsense when they do to that, they make una do it. When they don't say the reason why they do it, because una money when they take, that they get them back. Una not come mumu, una come be the highest mumu, una get and finish. He said, make una take up BAM Innocent Motor, now go stick out take and buy their car. Now not be your there. He said, make una take a open company, put them into agriculture, so that there will be food una buy export. No. Una go they take and they do gelly, they show up. Una go come they take and they buy their drink. When Sapele water they there. Now they buy Azu. All of them made here. Make una get sense. Everything when they take made this expensive drink, it dey on a compound though. Una not fit do company, make una do one there. All nonsense, not to just they show up. Because all this stupid celebrity, they make una they move. Now go wake up by force. So now me and una. Now what trouser I can't wear with una. Una original destiny. Now by fire, by thunder. Not be this one that they live so. I rest my case.
Yeah, the question was about what kind of, because I've not really heard you speak about the nature of the government you would like to see in Nigeria. Because, like, for me, I didn't see the type of government we are practicing as our problem. I just see that we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing. If we did it, we'll be in a better place. even with this current government. If the government had
But what is it that we were supposed to be doing, forefathers, if I may ask?
Okay, good. Like the country is losing about $50 billion.
Sorry, ask her the question, let her answer, and then move all around, please.
Fair point. Sorry, Masca, because they have not spoken. They've been here for a while. It's only
okay,
fair.
me, I'm even going to go to bed. I beg, just Bumi, who has Bumi's number? Tom, do you have Bumi's number? I just want to get the copy of that constitution.
I think I may have gotten it. So I will send. I will send you the constitution. I can send it to you, Masca.
Father, were you asking me that question?
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Masca,
Father, were you asking me that question?
I wanted to ask you, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You permit me to answer before you talk. You permit me?
Yeah, you can answer, but let the communication between Masca and this thing, because they just want to finish random so they can.
The document, I don't know if he has made a new one, but this one I have is a proposal and it's from 2022. So if I get the new one, I'll definitely send it to Forefathers and maybe he might send it to you again.
All right, thank you very much. I will plead with all of us to make an effort to read, even if it's 10, 20 pages at least. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Nice to see you guys again.
Thank you for joining us, Masca. Appreciate it. Nice one.
All right, good night. Good night.
Thank you.
The kind of development I am expecting us to have in Africa.
The government.
Government?
Yes.
The kind of government I am expecting for us to have is people-oriented government. The government that puts the people first. The government that will not sleep because there is children on the street that does not deserve to be there. The government that believes that the youth are the human capital of every country. Therefore, an enabling environment has to be given to them. And education is a key. Therefore, instead of wasting money to do Owambe and to buy useless stuff, or stealing it and going to abroad to drop it, or sending their children here so that they cannot become master for my children tomorrow, every Nigerian child should be given equal rights, equal education, equal opportunity. So that is the government I want for my children.
Thank you.
Where human life will be valued. Not here. We are in a society where animal has rights. And my country of birth, my children do not have rights. They buy them. Like even we don't buy animal here. Here you have to have license before you can even go and hunt. But they hunt down my children every day and they don't care. They will pay. We will ask questions and we will demand. And those who are supposed to go punish for it, they will eat it hot.
Wow. You know that the US actually spends more on pets than our entire national budget 3 times over, or maybe even how many times over. They spend $136 billion on pets, while our entire national budget is around $30 billion or so. But in other words, animals are treated better in America in terms of spending than our people are treating each other. So like I was saying, I think I was saying something. You see, somebody was saying something that I should let other people talk. So Tone will be coming in next, but I will keep it very quick. The things we should be doing that will give us a bang for our buck. We are losing $50 billion or so up to annually because of insecurity. You plug that gap. You know our refineries needs to come on stream. We all know that. That is not even rocket science.
Can you let everybody first of all have their opinion first? Please.
Let me finish what I'm saying there. Don't worry. I know. I will give you your time, your full time.
It's not a matter of full time. It should be conversation. And as an moderator, you should
I'm giving my own opinion now.
You've given, at least I've listened to you like 4 times interrupting and saying your stuff, saying your stuff, saying your
Yes,
part. So it's not fair.
that is what I do though.
And that's why
But
Nigeria
wait
is still
to
not
fall
moving forward,
further.
because this is still,
Is
you
there
know, balance.
difference between a moderator and panelist? Because you do the
Um,
two.
yes, actually, I do the two.
And
See,
so the day you want to moderate. The day you want, when you want to be panelist.
I think the thing is, this is more of a conversation. It's not.
Let Tone
Um,
No,
speak now. Tone and
it
me.
no, I'm not stopping them. I just said I was going to keep it brief. He just interrupted me before I even got 10 seconds
No, I
out.
was thinking it's their turn.
Mm. No, it's your turn. It's Tone's turn next. I was just asking for 15 seconds. You plug the gap of security, you plug the gap of refineries, you plug the gap of your resources getting stolen out of the country, you plug the gap of Ajakuta steel. All those things, if you do them and you stop the government from changing your currency all over the place, they are simple things, they are straightforward things. You do them, the country will start changing very, very quickly before you know it. So that one is not rocket science. Tone, I don't know whether you can hear us. Eventually came to your turn. I really appreciate your patience. Thank you for joining us. And so, what do you think about the governance system that we have? Um, what would you propose for the Nigeria, how we should be governed?
At at the minute, hi, hello everybody. At the moment, what we have now is not working, and it's not working for many reasons. Not that it's the constitution we have now is that bad. We might propose, we might even get the best suggestion of a new constitution, but if we do not deal with this thing called corruption, it's not going to work. Corruptions need to be dealt with because at the minute, people steal money knowing that there is no consequence, and they're even allowed to keep it. Criminals will come to power knowing there is no consequence. People will forge NYSC certificates and become governor because they know there's no consequence. These are very, very serious issues that needs to be dealt with. So, regards to the colonel's the constitution he's proposing, I've not read it, so I will not condemn it. But I think is the right it's commendable. At least somebody had taken time to write out something. I, for one, the regional government that everyone seems to be proposing, I don't know. There's just something but I just can't put my finger to it. I don't think at this stage in time of Nigeria it will really, really work. What we need to be concentrating on is how to, how to tackle corruption, how to bring down the cost of governance to the barest minimum. When um, when we make it in such a way that when you want to go and become a governor, or you want to go to the House of Assembly and all that, is not because of the monetary um, reward, that you're going there to serve your country. Until we deal with those little things and all that, we're just scratching the surface. We'll come with a new constitution, and all of us will come back to this where we are today, and we'll be criticizing it. No, it didn't work. It's this one. It's because the Yoruba man that wrote it. It's because it's an Hausa man that wrote it. It's because it's an Igbo man that wrote it. No, until we deal with consequences of corruption, because corruption is what's corruption? Corruption is not even just is not even constrained to just stealing government money. It's about doing the right thing. Are you doing the right thing? Are you, when you're sent there as as a senator, are you really representing your senatorial district? Are there check and balances that the people can call you back when you mess up? They have the power to call you back, and you're back, and you're back to square one, and they can do another election and send someone that is worthy of that seat. And that's why I don't know, is it Mama Echo that said, yeah, that we need to be looking at people-centered governance. And again, with Ferreira, I agree with him partly about what he said. I don't think it's just something that one man can just write and say, okay, here it is, because that's the problem we have now. We are blaming the military, because the military, Abdul Salam and some few people got together and all that. I don't think when they wrote that constitution, I don't think they meant any harm. They had the best interest at heart, but I don't think people were not the wider group that represents each region were not consulted. There has to be a consultation. And when I'm talking about consultation, it's not going to be like 1 month's consultation or 2 months. It's going to be a very robust consultation where we all sit down as a group. Okay, we're talking about region. Look at this Edo election. It's opened my eyes to something. We are very, very polarized in Nigeria, even within Edo State. I didn't know that there was so much division. This one we say Etsako, Esa, and all that kind of thing. Even within it, so that regional thing and all that, even if we do introduce it, there will be some smaller groups that will be trampled upon, that will not be given the opportunity to thrive. So I don't think the problem is regional. I believe that the most competent person should rule. Now, state level, the Nigerian governors are too powerful. Some of their powers need to be devolved to local authority. Like for instance, here in England, the local authority they do a lot of things. They take a responsibility with street lights, schools. That's the job of the local authority, and there's no interference. So there has to be some check and balances and all that. And then right there at the top, on the federal level and all that, the president needs to be answerable in such a manner that when he messes up, he will be impeached quite easily. So it will make everybody to be on their toe wherever you are. You'll be on your toes. You don't want to mess up. And you're not going there because the salary is so brilliant that you just go there and be. I mean, you look at the camera in the house or in the Senate house and all that. Most of them are snoring. They go there and snore and just talk rubbish. We don't want that kind of thing happening again. Or they are untouchable. There's a senator right now that it was alleged that he killed, but he's gotten away with it. The police cannot touch him. He's untouchable. All because they've got some kind of immunity as honorable. That's complete nonsense. Here in the UK, you're an MP. You go, an MP should use his car and hit somebody or jump the traffic light. You're going in for it. Or you go and do 80 where you're supposed to be doing 40, the police will come knocking at your door and you go into court, even though you are an MP. So all these little check and balances and all that, too much unnecessary powers need to be taken away. You need to know that you're there first and foremost. Like Alaba said earlier, there has to be a change of the mind, of the attitude. You know that you're there primarily to serve people, not to rule people. You think that you're one small demigod like Wike is parading himself as a little Hitler, ordering people, shouting on people, threatening people. But he does not understand that he's there. He's there to serve. Or Tinubu telling the Ogun State governor that without you, you'll not be a governor. What is that? For crying out loud. And godfatherism left, right, and center. What What is that? So until these little things are checked and correct measures are put into place, I know that you steal money, you either going away for a long time, or you face it, there's a possibility of death penalty. Our country will not come to not come to its senses. I know it might sound harsh. People might say, okay, because I've got a military background. It's not about military background. It's just unfortunately that's where we found ourselves, because we cannot have the kind of federalism we have in the US to work in Nigeria, in Africa, because we've not evolved. I believe we're not evolved. There needs to be some kind of high-handedness to get people to start thinking. Because what everybody right now in Nigeria is about, what can I take? What can I take? That's the mentality. What can I grab? Look at the military, our military right now. The rank and file of the Nigerian of the military across. I'm talking about the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. I know that poorly paid. Poorly paid. It's embarrassing. Discipline within the Nigerian army has gone down over the years. It has the standard had gone down. Truth to be told. Not too long ago, there was this Navy rating. He was told by his commanding officer for him to be disarmed and all that. He was struggling with a gun there and all that. He nearly shot him. And now they put him in well, I don't know the situation right now, whether he has been released and all that. And people are defending him that he should that there should have been there should have been a proper procedure to disarm him. If that happened in the British Army or the US, the fact that you were struggling with your gun and opened fire, you're dead.
Todd, when you finish, after Ekmen speak, I want to ask Forefather some questions.
So the thing is, we need to make collectively as a country, we need to make some very, very hard decisions and all that. And I'll be looking forward to read part of that constitution that the colonel had written. Kudos to him. Well done to him. See, we don't have any other country but Nigeria. Unfortunately, some people do not honestly want it to work, because if it works, all the excesses and the criminality that they all engage will not be there anymore. Thank you.
Really, thank you. I appreciate that. Now I'm going to take another 10 minutes to make a statement before MA speaks, just to annoy him a little further. At last, MA, it's your turn. Go ahead, have your say, please, MA.
Funny thing is not because maybe I want to speak. It's just that, as a moderator, you should let the conversation go around so that people shouldn't forget a particular point before we go into another point entirely again that simply, derail the thoughts of a lot of people. That's why I just let people have their opinion a bit at least. Greetings, everybody. And greetings to the Honorable Colonel Adeniyi Bokinsao Ekusheno. All I said is I greet him honorably and well done for the job he's doing. At least.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sorry, my battery went down before, so I have to go and charge it again. As per no light in Nigeria. Thank you.
As a Nigerian, this is what we really clamor for. These are the kind of actions we want to see people engaging. He's doing his part now as a patriotic citizen. If some people believe maybe there's an ulterior motive to that or not, that is an open statement. But he is doing his part. However, on the issue of the Constitution, I have some questions to ask him, and I'm glad I came back. First and foremost, is that on what foundation is he basing his constitution? What are the pillars, or let me say the values, the principles that he is basing this constitution on? Then the second question would be that as he has written it, which I quite applaud, though I don't think I would have accepted that too, but it's a proposal. Has he given it to other peers, especially people that have political mindsets? You know, people, maybe professors of political science, those who and psychology, what do you call it now? Sociology. Yes, I think it is not sociology. I should even say that. Who are honorable and who would also judge based on those lenses, the principles, the values that he is basing the constitution on. Because I think we need to really know where we are going to. Because if you want to have a constitution, you must stand on some things that they are not negotiable. That will really channel everybody in a particular direction. That this is the vision for this land. Even in 100 years, our development will still be contained in this vision, and it will give us the platform to blossom, to grow. So I just have those two questions for you before I make many further comments. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my brother. Yeah, like I said, I left that time to charge my phone and come back. You see, I think I wrote that constitution from the position of strength because, like I said, after serving the country for 35 years, I was able to know a lot of things about Nigeria, why things are not really working, and why things are working for some people, and millions of Nigeria are just out there lamenting, because I served in all parts of the country. So I know the tradition and culture of virtually all the ethnic groups in Nigeria. So I wrote that constitution because I have that privilege. And the reason now, another reason is people don't really know their rights. You don't know their rights in Nigeria, and that's why they are keeping quiet to so many things. Because if you really know your right, that it is the job of the government to provide those basic services for you, you will not just leave everything to God and say, well, God. You will come out to demand for the right. And I now realize that the only way people can feel the impact of government in their country is through the local government. So those basic things has to be understood. They have to be highlighted so that let people know what they are entitled to and who is to give them. So that is just the basic reason why I write that constitution. And that is how it is in all over the world. Because you must take care of the people. You have the country because the country is having people. If there is no people in a place, there will be no government. So government is set up to render services to the people. So if the people don't know what they are entitled to, everybody will be like, just be ignorant and will just be crying, lamenting every day and be looking onto one person. Government is not just one person. Government is about institutions. And like I said before, institutions of government has been established to provide those two basic responsibilities, security and welfare. So without politicians, government to be on autopilot. This institution is supposed to be working because they've employed experts, people who are trained, who have gone to school, who have gone to, who have learned, who are knowledgeable. Government have employed them, and they are there to provide services. That's why they call them civil servants. So if the politicians are not there, civil servants are supposed to be doing their job. So those are the awareness I really want to bring out so that people will know what they are entitled to, their rights, and their responsibility to their country. And like I said, the responsibility of the people to the country is pay your tax and obey the law. That is just what the government wants from the people. Then the government responsibility to the people is provide them welfare services and security services. Finish. So that's just it.
Yeah, Colonel Adeni, I don't mean Forefather, excuse me, I don't mean to Bobby. I have a question for Forefather and also for Colonel Adeni. Colonel Adeni, in the draft that you propose, do you like Ekme asks, and I don't think you addressed Ekme's question properly. Are there some fundamentals, non-negotiables in that constitution? For example, let me give you a good example. In the US Constitution, for example, I hate to use US, but that's the only one I know. I'm sorry. I wish I know other countries. There's these 6 big ideas that when all the states came together to say, okay, we're going to form this United States of America, each state came, but there were 6 basic non-negotiable ideas in the US Constitution. Number 1 was popular sovereignty. Number one was popular sovereignty. Number 2 was the issue of check and balances. Number 3 was the issue of separation of powers. Number 4 was limited government. Number 5 was republicanism, and number 6 was federalism. So in this your draft, what are the non-negotiable? Because if you're proposing a constitutional draft, if, for example, number 1 is not there, popular sovereignty, I don't even see why I should be talking, or we should even, the conversation should go forward. Or did you divide it into those terms, or did you look at it from those perspectives? That's for that. That's for you, Colonel. And for you, Forefather, you always argue that, okay, if we were addressing the issue of security, if we are addressing the issue of Ajaokuta, if we are addressing this Dangote refinery, all this your point that you always push. Forefather, have you ever sat down to ask yourself, how did we get to where we are? Something got us to where we are. And if whatever that thing is, over 25 years or 60 years, got us to where we are, you saying why shouldn't we? Isn't that a mute question, a failed question? Saying why are we not? If we can address it, don't you think we would have addressed it? Don't you think something got us to this point? And like what a reasonable people do is that when they find themselves in the ditch, they go back and see how they got in the ditch and try to maybe redirect their direction. I don't know whether sometimes when you push this your strong argument, whether you do a back and forth thinking on if whatever it is that brought us to this stage, brought us here, don't we have a right to question that thing and go back and say, maybe we need a U-turn, maybe we need another direction, maybe we need something else? I'm just thinking this, because these are things I ask myself, and I don't know if you ask yourself, or you're just doggedly strong on your position. Oh, if only they do, if only they build nuclear weapon, our problems will be solved. Yeah, we had an opportunity, but we didn't. We got here. What got us here? Do you ever ask those questions? That's two questions.
I do definitely ask those questions. That is why we went as far back as the colonization wars. When I talk about the colonization wars, that's what I meant by we had individually, our different tribes had our, for want of a better word, constitutions. It didn't save us. We all lost. And we ended up colonized, enslaved, and all the rest. And then the people they handed power over to, this is why I give that narrative, so that you understand how we got here. The people they handed over power to were their collaborators. They were the people that interceded on their behalf, to the point where they send their children overseas to go and study. Then when they came back, those are the educated ones that they handed power over to. Do you expect those ones to break out of their control? I don't think so.
But you do by demanding that they give you security, by demanding that they increase the soldier, by demanding all the demands that you make. You're expecting those that have failed you to do those things for you.
No, I'm not saying they should do it for us. I'm saying anybody that wants to fix a problem should look at those things, because those ones are the
But they
core
were
of
trying
our
to
problems.
oppose those who want to remove those kind of people, who want to remove our neo-colonial masters.
Why would
because
I
that's
want
who
to?
they are. That's who those people are. They might be black skin, but they're not folk skin. They might be black. They are the types Stephen Biko calls white souls in black skins.
Why would I want to stop you from removing them? I'm not going to stop you from removing bad leadership.
But none of your argument ever goes in that direction. It's just you keep demanding that they do the security thing that you want.
Because
and you think they will do it.
Because if you want to overthrow a government that is technically been elected democratically, there could be unforeseen havoc that you're going to create in the system. But if you can leverage the system one way or the other to make the change, that
so
is
in your honest opinion, you think we can leverage these people?
I think we can. I've seen it happen. That's the reason why I'm saying it. I've seen it happen before. When NSAS happened, before
where have you seen it?
Let me. I'm giving you NSAS now. I'm giving you NSAS now. When the NSAS protest happened, before Lekki happened, the government had already considered to everything the NSAS protest has asked for.
The government never did any of that.
They did. And the governance and bad governance, this thing that happened. The reason why the government had nothing to concede to, because there was not real enough specifics that they can react to immediately. If you told them now, the refineries have to come on stream, we have to see what is happening to these refineries. You report to us on a weekly basis in detail what is happening to
the
our refineries.
Did not even admit it killed his own citizens during NSAS. Please don't use NSAS.
But they granted them what they
other
wanted.
Countries where you've seen
they give you answer, you don't want to hear it. It's okay.
Being leveraged.
See, Nigerian government want to pass cyber security law. People didn't like it, they withdrew it. Nigerian government wants to do this thing, the first tuition fee, this thing that they brought out. People didn't like it, they withdrew it. We pretend as if they don't listen. Our people are not conscious enough. They are not watching them enough. These people are walking around with private security everywhere.
Got to this stage. No, seriously, you got to look at the numbers.
We are not demanding the right things. And I understand why. Why would anybody that is walking on the street care about
Let Colonel Adeni answer my question on the 6 big ideas. So I'm not getting a satisfactory answer from you. I got to be honest.
I tried.
You tried, yeah. You tried.
Okay. On those requests, you see, all those things you mentioned are fully embedded in the Constitution. They might not come out as an item. They might not be itemized like that as per the way you mentioned it. But you talk of issue of sovereignty now. In fact,
So you're saying issues of check and balances are well mentioned in the Constitution, and yet the so-called people that are destined to make it happen are not doing their job, and there's no recourse of the law for them. Is that what you're saying? Are you talking of your own proposed constitution or the current constitution?
I'm talking of my own proposed constitution.
Oh, in your own proposed, okay.
Yes, okay. Not constitution has a lot of flaws, a lot of loopholes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking of my proposed.
So which area? The one of interest to me the most is popular sovereignty, because that's what really gives power to those who are in government. So if I'm as a citizen, I can deal with the person in power. Then the person really doesn't have that power. It's me that have the power. So how does your proposal deal with this?
You see, that's why I'm saying that, it's a representative government. It's a parliamentary system. So the people that are going to represent you are voted for from the local government, from your ward, from local government, from your ward. And it's based on their credibility. So that during screening, those who have that bad background or bad credibility will be screened out. So it's only those ones that are clean will be voted for. And I propose for a digital voting using NIN as password, so that even anywhere you are during election time, you don't need to travel to your local government or to your village. You could be outside the country.
Does your proposal have this thing? This thing, they say this 1999 doesn't have this thing whereby the people can, what's it called? I can't think of the word, where they can do not a recall, but they can call for a referendum. That's the word, I think. Yeah. Does your proposal have that in it?
Yeah, it has that. If you want to recall,
whereby, okay, we are not happy with the way this law is called, then we can call the Congress of the people to say we want this removed.
Yes,
Or we
it's
want to
everything
change
is there.
direction.
Yes, you want to change direction. You want to recall a member. Your
Not
representative
recall a
maybe.
member, but in terms
No,
of
it's part of it.
referendum, let's say.
The referendum, yeah, to talk about an issue or a policy that
Let's say a
is
few
not going
states
well.
say they don't want to be part of the union. Do they have the right to a referendum and say, okay, we don't want to be part of this union? Is that included in your proposal?
It's included, but you have to meet some requirements. You have to meet, there's a requirement before you can say you want to pull out of Nigeria, for example. Some members need to agree to that. Not just few people will come out and say, so there is to be a required number, to get to that
Colonel,
level.
my last question for you, popular
Yes.
sovereignty, what degree of importance did your proposal give it?
A sovereignty as a citizen, you're a citizen, you have the right to be voted for and the right to go and vote. And you have the right to demand accountability from those in government. So that sovereignty is there. It gives you all the powers that any other person has.
Can you sue your state government for violating your rights? Can you sue the federal government? Can you sue your local government and demand reparation for whatever offense they've done to you? Does that proposal have that level of sovereignty?
It has it. I took time to make sure that check and balances. You can question people in government. You can demand for, answers for any policy they are proposing that is not going down well with people. You see the way it is. I limited the power of those politicians so that people can really check them. That's the power. That's the essence of this constitution that I'm proposing. It gives so much power to the people that, and it's not what you have now that is difficult to remove a governor. That you have to easily you can come up with reasons that you want to pull out somebody from government. So I made it so easy so that the people in power in government don't have so much powers that they
Does
can
it
just
grant immunity to those in government while they are still in government?
No immunity. As you are there, you can be investigated, you can be prosecuted for any infraction. There is no immunity. That's one of the reasons that they are, messing
I have
up
no
with
further
Nigeria.
Local P, your turn. No, before father
Please,
allows
you've
you.
not answered my second question.
Okay.
And the second question, because I
Okay.
asked, second is that have you shared it with what do you call them now, with intellectual reviewers of like minds like you?
Of course. I've given it to.
You know why I'm asking? Because at a point, it shouldn't be I wrote again. I think because the Constitution, what you're trying to do, this vision should be bigger than you. It should cross over to this group.
Yeah.
Because when you continue to say I'm not denigrating your effort in any way, sir.
You see, just let me cut you short. It is my thought, it is my contribution to Nigerians' problem, to solving Nigerian problem. You get my point. I sat down to look at the problems and look for and propose a solution. So, and I've given it out to National Assembly, and they are looking at it, and they said they will invite me for what you call a public hearing to come and expatiate on it.
Maybe Father Olumide is trying to get in, or I don't know if you saw his message.
Maybe your goal is to just put it in record that you did your part. I will assume
of course, it is going to be your record that I did my part, but I'm sure my part addressed a lot of fundamental problems in the country.
That's the point. That's the point. Maybe you should share it. But for me, as a student of education, I would say that have ideas like that. After you've written, we should have who you forwarded these ideas to, who have reviewed it and also could pass their own votes of integrity and correctness to it based on these values that we asked for. There's a reason why I asked for those values the other time.
Yeah.
And it said that for the Nigerian that we have to move forward, certain things must be shed away from our weight. and we must move on a particular level of thoughtfulness. You can't throw away vision, and if you can't itemize those vision now, sir, even for you who wrote it all by yourself, you still couldn't itemize these visions. Then that's a problem for me as a person. Not because your effort is wasted, no, sir.
No, I think. See, let me understand your question so that we'll be on the same page.
That is what
we
I'm
are
saying.
talking of itemizing.
My question
what now? Yeah.
Now, what kind of nation do you see us becoming? Is it a nation of justice? A nation of, these are pillars. They must be stated correct. We are a nation of justice. And that's why you alone might not be able to write it. I'm not saying what you've written is wrong, but it's just my own stuff.
If you go through it now, I'm sure the forefather has the soft copy. I've sent to him, and there's something. There's something okay, wait. There's something I've also sent now. It's like the summary of the Constitution. Are you getting my point? There is, because I attached a covering letter to the Constitution when I was sending it to National Assembly. It's like the summary of the Constitution, so that they would not even need to start from page 1 to the end, because most of them are lazy there. But if they look at the summary, like the covering letter, they will know the nitty-gritty, the whole essence of the Constitution, just like what you're asking for now, what you want Nigeria to be and everything. It's in the summary, how Nigeria should be run, how Nigeria should be managed, how the citizens should be taken care of, the rights the citizens should know and everything. So it's summarized in what I will later send to your forefather so that you can make it available for you. So the summary is the copy letter of the Constitution to the National Assembly.
Okay, that's fine. But for me, I would just submit that if I would rather write a constitution, I think after I've written it, I would want to share with people of principles.
Of course. Leave I mention names of people that have shared it to. You'll be surprised.
You mentioned the names. Like, there's nothing like you'll be surprised there.
Like Chief Ape Babalola. You know Chief Ape Babalola?
What did he say? What did he write? We want to see his writing.
I think Loco wants to add to the Loco. If you want to say something, you can. They probably have a question for you, Colonel Adeni. The topic is about what kind of government would be best for Nigeria. Like which kind of constitution would be best suited to run the Nigerian state. Some people prefer dictatorship, benevolent dictatorship, while others are for democracy. The Cornell constitutional provision is for local government. It's really centered on local government autonomy and power. So I don't know what you think about that.
Okay, guys. Hello, how are you all doing, everybody? Cornel, well done, sir, for your effort. At least you made a step. No matter how small, it is a good effort. It shows that at least no matter how small it is, you're still being patriotic. I think that's what we like in Nigeria, being, putting your nation first. That's what we all like in Nigeria. For the question that I think Amy is looking for, the answer is he has the answer, even if maybe he doesn't understand how to give you the answer, but he has the answer, because definitely he must go through one introduction, preview, or one step, one chapter 2, chapter 3, and whatever answer you're looking for is inside those chapters. You understand? I understand your question totally, because if he's the only person that wrote that so-called constitution, you understand, he must have had an answer, give you the answer off heart to tell you, yes, this is. I don't understand what you're saying, but if he still cannot be able to give you exactly what you're looking for, yeah, it's still okay. You understand? But the most important thing is there's something out there that is, that's for people to look at and scrutinize, criticize, and add to or subtract from, but just to make it better, at least. But there's something that one can really, look into and revise and make amendment and make it better. there's something out there, and which is also good for everybody to look at it if they want to, because everybody will be saying we need to get, but nobody's even coming out to say, okay, we need to get. This is what I think. This is what I've written down so far. This and that. Everybody just wants a new one. So he is here right now to like, okay, bring a new one, and at least we commend you for that. Then for your answer, for that, like the type of government that we want. See, truth be told, any government will work. We are human beings. There's no follow come type of government from creation of this world that it must be this one that works for everybody. Every government type of government will work only if there's sincerity of purpose for that government. You understand? If you say dictator, the person might not be the person may just be strict to like, I want this to be like this and it's like this. Stricto ascenso, like that, and it's like this. You may say the person is strict or wicked, but he's following the law and it must be that. You understand? So whatever government we're practicing is good. If not for the fact that the type of government we're practicing, we have greedy presence at the center of power who wants to hold power. You understand? We won't be complaining if he holds power and is making sure that development is going through the whole state simultaneously without selfishness or whatever. I don't think we'll be complaining about this country. You understand? We have greedy people who don't have anything that has to do with nation building, always in hold of power. That's why we're all sitting down here complaining. From federal government down to the state, the 3 tiers of government. You get me? So whatever government we practice is good. I think, but the only thing is how we can change our mindset to say to be patriotic to our nation, to this is our own. We have to put it forward. We have to make sure is good out there. I was watching a documentary yesterday about a zoo from one YouTuber, the zoo in Calabar. I think Afi, whatever, is being headed by 2 white Americans. They came since 1982, 84, something like that, right? And I saw it, and the way they were speaking about Nigeria, how passionate they are about the country. They were even more passionate about Nigeria than us as Black people, which was like their kind of frustration. Like, we are taking worst of the bad behavior of foreigners and using that culture to replace our good culture, something like that. You understand? So we as a people are not even willing for the country to be better first, because we all benefit from this bad governance of a thing. We all benefit from it. That's why we're not even doing anything willing to make it change. You understand? Separate, you can imagine somebody is going out to protest. Some group of people in their thousands are collecting money to wage war against the protesters. So, like, who does that in a country? Where have you seen that in any country, any part of this world? So, because we are not ready, we just think everything is money. Everything is whatever happens in this country. How will it benefit me personally? How do I make money from it? How do I cash out from it? That is an average Nigerian's mindset, and it starts from grassroots straight down to the federal. You understand? That's why I say any kind of government, anybody, whether it's the American type of government or the Lee Kuan Yew type of government or whatever it is, as far as the person who is the helm of affair is nation building first, before anything, even before himself. Trust me, we will not be here saying what we're saying. So, in a nutshell, any type of government will work, but we have to first change our mindset to make sure, yes, we put the nation first, so that whatever type or whatever kind of government we want to practice henceforth from Nigeria will work for everybody, because whoever is in the helm of affair wants betterment for everybody. And once again, for the Colonel, a good one for what you've written and other stuff. And I know if you have good maybe rapport with your House of Representatives, somebody in the Senate or whatever, maybe if they have you in mind, they can, if they have nation building first, they can take it from you, discuss it among their peers. If they see there's anything like they're going to add or remove, whatever, they can call you for hearing, and you can go there and present your stuff. And also, it's because of the type of politicians, political movement we have in this country, it may also be good to give, like you said, you send copies to Afe Babalola. Understand? Nice one too. So it might also be good to also send this to across the nation, east, west, north, south, and all that stuff, so that if you also have maybe let them know that these are the people who you send this stuff to, maybe that will also like, oh, okay, this guy means what he's saying. At least we have prominent Nigerians who have read this stuff and they're okay with it, so we shouldn't throw it aside as if we don't know what we're doing. So that's a good one, nice one.
Thank you. I really appreciate this thing, because I actually subscribe to your school of thought. It's about action. I think in China, when Mao Zedong came to office, he didn't write the constitution until after 5 years when he came to office. What got him into office wasn't the constitution. How he governed for the first 5 years was had nothing to do with constitution. It's just that in the end, they did the constitution and they've reviewed it over time till now. And look at where China is today. The example is there all over the world telling you the same thing. It's not about necessarily the document, it's the people that have the mind to change the country. If you change the country, the constitution will take care of itself.
Exactly. Like I've told people, like in the Nigerian constitution that we're complaining. Okay, point out, give me 10 things that you think is very, very, very wrong in the Nigerian constitution. People cannot even point 10. It's just because the only problem we have is
10 is a lot.
no, but you can't because of
Forefathers, do you still have my email address?
I should, yes, I should.
If you can forward it to me, please, yeah.
Seriously, you want me to give you your email address? Is that how it works now?
No, the document.
I thought, okay, I thought you were telling me to give you your email address. That was confusing, though.
No, I can. Okay, I'll email you. I'll just.
Yeah, email me so that I'll forward. Okay, the constitution, I'll forward it to you. Okay.
Yeah, for the constitution.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Loco that said that people should point out what the things that are wrong with 1999 constitution. I can tell you some now. Like the issue of bicameral House of Assembly now. We don't need it. It's a waste.
Sorry, Mr. No, hold on. Sorry, Mr.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry, Mr. Adeni. What I wanted to say is, like, when I say you can't point 10, right? As in, you can't because of 10, take out the whole constitution. You understand? The only thing I know is for sure, if we are really, 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 really enforcing the law according to that constitution that we have right now in Nigeria, I swear to God, we will, in fact, 80% of us will not be complaining about Nigeria. If enforcement is really, really taking place with that constitution, the problem we have is nobody is enforcing it.
You see, it's difficult to enforce. Okay, I'll give you an example. The governors are so powerful in Nigeria today that they are just like emperors. They have immunity that is giving them absolute power that nobody can check them. Now look at when the president said, let local government have their resources directly. Under Buhari said the same thing. They refused, and there was nothing Buhari could do. Now Tinubu now came and took them to court. After even the court judgment, they are still refusing because they are still basing on the constitution that the local government, the constitution has put local government under the governors, which are some of the anomalies. Now they are using that now to sit on the local government resources. So those are some of the things that have to be addressed from the onset. So that yes, okay.
So we have rights. There are laws that are in the constitution, and they are executive laws. You understand? Look, the governors, you say that support, no matter how powerful they are not bigger than any country. You understand what I'm saying? The people themselves, they are not so willing. If we true to ourselves, if we are not corrupt in our own states, if we know that this will definitely favor us, you understand? There's no way the people will not come out of the street like, look, Mr. Governor, the president have given this executive order, is being passed from the National Assembly. Why are you not doing it? But the state will refuse to come out because they know they are getting employment. They have families that are enjoying from the government directly. The state will not want to do it. The state will not want to do it because they have families that are enjoying from the government. You get my point? So to say it's difficult, it's not because of the president don't have the power, it's enforcement. The people is not even willing to take action because they are benefiting from that state government as they just did so.
That's what we are saying now. Those are some of the loopholes Like I said, now the state assemblies now, they are just toothless bulldog. They can't do anything to the governor. That is how it is.
Because the governor is a paymaster.
That's what I'm saying. So those are some of the things that need to be addressed in the constitution, so that the power of the governors is limited. Powers of the president too is limited. You can't just be a dictator. We are not running a monarchy. We have somebody who just be at the end of affairs, and it will
And where
disrupt
will the power be then?
the power will be. See, when I said there will be no political parties, somebody now asked me, say, there will be the opposing party.
You want to get rid of political parties? That would be a problem.
No,
Explain to me how that works, because I think that's the first time
I've explained to you before. Now I don't know why you said I should do it. Okay, I'll do it again now.
For the new viewers, yes.
Okay, good. I'll do it again, because I said there are two ways you can practice politics all over the world in the book, like that. Everything, it's partisan politics and non-partisan politics. So it is not new. It is not strange. I'm not just bringing it from the blues. It's there in the book. So what we have been doing since 1963 is partisan politics. And we can see how partisan politics have divided the country. Not only the countries, have divided even ethnic groups, have divided families, have divided us. We are fighting each other, killing each other. Those are even the same ethnic group are killing themselves because of partisan politics. So it has not helped us. And people are so loyal to their parties than to the country. I gave an example of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. When last election, he said he want to be president. And people say, but the last person, the current person is from the north. Why do you think you from the north should be president again? He said, no, his own political parties, provided the last president is from the south, as that's President Jonathan. So he is from the north, it should be the president. So he was loyal, or is loyal to his party than to the country interest. So at the end of the day, I came to realize that party politics has destroyed us. And then I now started and say, what is the job of the party self in the first place? So if say you need a platform, party manifesto, party this, party that. And I say, which manifestos? Check all the party manifestos, they're all the same. Because all the party will tell you that we want to give welfare to the people, we want to provide security, you fix their road, you fix their schools. All of them
they're the same people. They're the same people.
Yes.
The people are the same. So
that's what I'm not saying. So if you look at the party manifestos, it's the same thing as what is the constitution. So they're only repeating what constitution have said, that give welfare to the people. So the party will just come with a manifesto to say they are doing it. So why are we deceiving ourselves that we are using political parties? Then another thing is that before we were born, before we came to this world, government had been existing. And the job of government is mainly to security and welfare. Institutions
sorry,
sir.
Is that the non-partisan? Okay, I want you to explain the non-partisan policies.
Yes, I'm going there. I'm going there. Okay. Why I decided to pick non-partisan, because I want to say why we don't need parties in the first place. Okay. Why the party politics is even not helpful, it's useless in the first place. So when you now said the government, the job of government to security and welfare, government have established these institutions right from the onset. Institution to provide security. The welfare issue is all encompassing. Security, education, healthcare, infrastructure, water, all those basic things, they are part of welfare, and they've established institutions to do it. So when parties now coming that they say they will give you healthcare, are they going to take over the job of established institutions? So you can see that it's just mockery of government, mockery of politics. So that's why I said it is not your job as a political party or as a politician to say you want to provide services to people. No, institutions to do it are already established. Your job as a politician is just to go there and ensure that these institutions are working. So don't let us be looking onto people. Let's look onto the institutions that have been established to provide services to us. So that's why I say there's no need for parties. So if individuals now can come out from their ward, from their local government, come out that you want to be voted for, people will look at you. People who knows you will say, okay, this person, he has been a criminal before, he stole money before, he did it. So they will talk about you. The government media will publicize you to them so that you don't need to pay. Because if you don't eradicate money politics, you will still fall to the same corruption that you are running away from.
What did you
anybody that
say?
spend
Sorry,
money,
I wanted to
yes.
catch that again. How did you say the people will get recognition again instead of
You
through
see,
money?
if you come out to say they should vote for you, the government media at local government level will announce you to the public. People will now start talking about you. If you
But
are
but
good,
but hold on. So let's slow
yes,
down. Let's try
yes,
to go one by one here.
okay,
The government media that picks up on that candidate,
yes.
do they have any rules on who they pick up on? Is there anybody that contests that they have to pick up on?
Anybody that wants to contest, that want to
Yes.
go for the contest, you don't
Okay.
need
They
to
have to
discriminate
cover the person equally.
from that, yes, from that local government, because I talk about representatives now from each local government. So if you come out now from the local government, they will go, the government media will now publicize you, so that the people will now talk about you. If you are the type that, you know, have done something terrible in the past, they will know. And from there, they will start screening you out. During the screening, they will come and say, somebody said before, you are this, you are that, you are this. So they screen out people who are criminals. That
But
is
did they publicize local government this in on TV? I think is it not like through posters and stuff because the TV channel, government TV channel cannot cover all local government this. I think there are quite many, isn't it? They
okay.
cannot
Now,
cover everybody that wants
yes,
to run.
okay. There's something I didn't talk about before we talk about local government. First of all, I propose for a lot of things to be put in place before we start this new system. I said a local government now should be viable and propose for population of 500,000 for each local government, plus or minus 100,000. So that no local government will be less than 400,000, no local government will be more than 600,000. So at the end of the day, we have all the local government in the country operating on equal footing. So if you are to contribute to the center, you contribute equally. If you are to benefit from the center, you benefit equally. It's not be a situation where some local government, like what we have now, local government in this country, some are more than 1 million, where some local governments are less than 20,000. So when you are giving them aids now, or they are contributing to the center, it's not equal. The one with 1 million will feel that it's been marginalized because the person from the one that is 20,000 is contributing 5%, the one with 1 million is contributing 5%. So it's not equal. So we need to operate on equal footing so that people will stop complaining of marginalization. That is first thing that I propose. So I give the task to National Population Commission and National Boundary Commission to do that one for the country first, so that we have local government that will evenly, establish and operate equally. So by that, each local government need to have their own media outfit, because this time around you will operate like as if you are a state. So you have your own media outfit. People now that want to contest come out. The media will take over from there, announce to the public. The public talk about you. If you are clean, you scale through the screening. Then during election, you use your like what I say again. There should be internet service in all those and training of the country. People say it's not doable. I said it is doable. We spend close to 400 billion on election every time we do election. If we take just 100 billion naira, we can put internet service in all the parts of the country. And it's not a wasteful project. It's an investment, because if you put internet service all over now, people will buy, what do you call it? Buy data,
Data.
and government will make back their money. So it's not a waste. So if you have internet service,
I think that is doable. Where
Look,
I
yes,
think
where I disagree. The truth is, where I disagree with him
you
is
say,
simple. Look, in a
you say
society,
what?
they have to be. I say
Eh?
where I disagree with you in terms of that how to contest. Like
I'm not finished. So let me just finish. So
okay, sir.
that when I
Sorry, sir.
finish, then you can now
Sorry,
criticize.
sir.
So
Sorry.
when there is internet service all over, then during election period, after individuals have cleared through the screening and the time for election, your NIN, everybody should be given NIN this time around to make sure that you are a citizen of the country. You cannot use your NIN as your password to enter the service, the server of INEC during election. So when you put your NIN, it will screen you. If you are less than 18, you are disqualified. You are you are not eligible. But if you are more than 18, you proceed. The list of the region come out. You click your region. From region now, all the local government will come out. You click your local government. Then you click your local government. The people who have sailed through the screening, their faces and their name will come up. You click the face of the person you are voting for. So you could be any part, anywhere in the country. You don't need to travel to your local government. You could be in Lagos and vote for your candidate in Maiduguri. You could be outside Nigeria, in Germany, in UK, in China. As long as you have an internet service, you can vote. So take care of diaspora voting and all those things. So you be in your house drinking your beer and you are voting. So all these things are doable. If when you do these things successfully, countries will emulate us that yes, this thing that is going on in Nigeria is okay, because you don't need to go out again and queue behind somebody or hoodlums will come, thugs will come and be scattering the ballot papers, scattering ballot materials and breaking people's head there, or rain will fall in some. So all those things will be.
Yes. Sorry, Colonel.
Yeah.
It's in a very ideal situation. That is a wonderful idea, but with the kind of the internet infrastructure we have in Nigeria, I doubt it will work, and I'll tell you why.
That's why I say that we need to put a lot of things in place.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the companies that run the internet in Nigeria need to be kicked out in the first place, because you need to make it so robust. I mean, the especially security infrastructure around the ISPs, because you don't want people breaking. Because very, very brilliant people can break into this system and circumvent and deceive the system. I could pretend. I mean, you could pretend. I could pretend to come from, say, Oyo State, somewhere in Oyo State, and all that. So, if we're talking about something that will be based on internet, are the government, are they ready to spend that kind of money? And if it's especially for security around that infrastructure, it's very, very important. It would be nice if we can implement it, but can they?
Just like you said now, you know, somebody who supports government institutions to work. I never supported the idea of government selling Nitel in the first place. Nitel should have been the national carrier that would give us internet service all over the country. And so we need to
satellite now. So
we need to revise it and put so many things in place, like so that we don't depend on the on all these foreign GSM provider and internet service provider.
Do you know the person that is referred to as the father of the internet? The person that is referred to as the father of the internet is a Nigerian. He's from my town.
Okay.
America don't joke. See, we have brains outside that know stuff that when they come back, they can build a very, very, very tight and robust system.
For me,
those are the things that we need to do in this country to move forward, so that we do things seamlessly. You get it? To get internet service all over the country. Like you say, you are talking of hacking this system now. Good. Even if somebody successfully hack it, you will only hack it maybe for your candidate that is in a local government. It might not affect other people that are still voting in other local government, because you are not voting for one person as president this time around or as governor. You are voting for just a representative in a local government in a ward. So if you successfully hack it, you just hack it for and at the end of the day, if you are able to restore it back, it's only going to affect a small area, not the whole country per se. So that's the way.
Mr. Konesef.
Yes.
Mr. Konesef.
Yes.
From half of what you said, right, concerning the non-partisan, right? Because I was expecting you to explain to okay, let me say I got what you're trying to say from the non-partisan part of politics. Yes, but I completely agree with. Then the other part of your submission, where you're talking about the how to vote, remotely. Yes, that's technology, where anybody can also do that. Yeah, because I, for one, I've been advocating for diaspora voting. All since at least everybody in the panel will tell you, I've always advocated for diaspora voting. Like we have to. You understand? Wherever we are, so at least we can contribute, in that nation building too from wherever we are in any part of the world. But for the non-partisan, when it comes to organization, sir, if you say you throw it to the air, like you don't have to be party. Anybody who's interested with maybe good character or whatever, you announce yourself. sorry, that may somehow the organization will be kind of cumbersome. You understand, difficult. But by the time they are these people are organized into sects, which is like party-wise, organized into sects, they can, talk among themselves, like, okay, who the people who choose who choose that is competent enough to govern them. You understand, under a party. You understand, or other whatever. If you may not call it political parties, you might call it organization or sect or group of whatever. It mustn't be political party, just because of this is what we find ourselves right now. That's what we call a political party. But if you can put yourself together, talk among yourselves, speak your language, your parakbo, whatever it is, and bring out whoever is going to lead you. Then
from there,
rather than
from there now, lobbying.
Local government.
Okay, Mr. Aluko, from there, lobbying will come in. Money will start exchanging hands. Then corruption will come.
It now goes back to. No, sorry. It now goes back to what I was talking about the people. Also to the people. So if you say lobby, like, so that means what is happening in this government is not bad. It's just because of the lobby and the people trying to make money that is the issue.
Because you created room for it. Because people refuse. That's why I'm saying that you need a system that will limit the excesses of people, limit the powers. Before now, nobody start sharing money, start sharing rights. Okay, nominate me. But if it is individual something that comes, is within a local government, and in the constitution that I put there is still requirements that will be met, your qualification and everything. So even the old people that are coming
in the individual, it may still be highest bidder. If you are corrupt, you are corrupt. Whether you go as individual or go as a party, if you are corrupt, you are corrupt. Because if all of us go as individuals, you understand, it might be who owes the bigger money. Because I might be the richest person in that village, and I might be corrupt. And if we decide to go individually, I might still be do the same vote buying. I'm like, this guy might get big pocket too. Is this man? It's not the party now. This man has big pocket. Let's also vote for him. So if that vote buying still wants to happen, whether you do it in a party way or non-partisan way, it will still happen. But if there's
individual something will be limited, because this time around you are coming and others too are coming, and during election you might not even know who will vote for you because somebody is in his house and he just opened the system and your picture should be there. So it's only if they like you, they vote for you. Because if you are the one that has money, they will even say you didn't get your money in the right way. And say that man all the money.
If I'm in abroad right now, and Atiku wants to vote in Nigeria, you understand? And this your second partner, which is diaspora voting, we are doing this in Nigeria, vote remotely. You understand? If Atiku is coming, Atiku, Peter Obi, and Tinubu, if they are doing that in Nigeria, if they share money. If they want to, if you want to do vote buying, will it affect us in whatever? It will not affect us now because the voter is there to still vote. So whether being in the party or not being in the party, it won't still affect that remote voting because now everybody's voting remotely. Nobody's going to the field anymore. So you can say yes, it's PDP, APC, or whatever. They are there now. Everybody vote from your house, vote from your mobile phone. Nobody needs to go to the field, so they will not still be available to give anybody money. But we are still voting remotely. So, like I said, whether party or no party, that is the remote voting, it will still work perfectly. You understand? It will still work perfectly. Like I said, maybe like if we talk about like this diaspora voting, Tinubu might share the billions he have in Nigeria. Tinubu might share the billions he have in Nigeria, but definitely they are not going to come here and share money for me. But I can still vote like 1, 2, 3. I think Atiku is the best, or Tinubu is the best, or Peter B is the best. Let me vote for the person. So remote voting, I think for me, should be what you should even be encouraging more, you understand, than that individual, everybody coming out. Because if you're doing everybody coming out and there's remote voting will still cut out, will eliminate anything that has to do with vote buying. Whether you are in a party or you're not in a party, as an independent candidate or from a party, from a political party candidate, whatever. As far as there's remote voting, it will eliminate anything that has to do with vote buying. Except the only vote buy will not be whoever is in INEC office that is collating the figures. That's the only person you can not attack.
No, in fact, it's the system that will be reading the results. As you are doing the voting, the system is counting it. So there's no INEC.
There's always nothing in this life works remotely.
No, you see, we cannot say because nothing works remotely and we will not make attempt to do what we believe is better. so that we limit.
Sorry. No. When I say remotely, right, there's nothing in this life on the surface of this earth, no matter how 100% it is, human being will always be involved in controlling it. That's what I'm saying. So if you are saying computer
you are right.
computing,
Even if human being is there to control, it will not control for one person. You see, you can only do it for one person, and you are not voting for one person. You are only voting for representative in a small local government.
Okay.
You know, we are talking of.
So sorry, let me just ask: does this system not have governors?
The same thing will happen to select a governor. You know, the governor in a region, we have governors in a region, but the representative that will be voted for in the regional government, you know, is what do you call it? Parliamentary system also. We have House of Assembly at federal level, House of Assembly at federal level, House of Assembly at local government level. So 3 elections now. So we do local government election. The people from the wards, you know, we have wards in each local government. Have divided it into 20 wards for each local government. So one person from each ward will form local government House of Assembly. That's 20 people. Then the regional assembly too. 2, 3 local government like that coming together. We are voting for one person to represent that 3 local government in House of Assembly at regional level.
Who votes for the person to represent the 3 local government areas?
That one is not even reduction. That one is reduction of governance. As in, like, I understand what you're saying. Like, that was even reduction of governance.
I don't understand fully. Explain it to me, please. I'm trying to catch what you're saying. I'm sure some viewers are struggling.
Just like it is in the local government election, we have the wards. We are voting for the representative from the wards to form local government of assembly. The one that will form the regional House of Assembly, they are from the local government. You know, the people too will still vote for. This time around, you are not talking from the wards again. It's from the local government itself that you are voting for a representative that will represent your local government at the regional House of Assembly. You get the point now. So the same thing too at Federal House of Assembly. This time around, you are bringing in 3, 4, 5 local governments together. One person will be voted for. You know, you know what we call this federal constituency, as it is now.
Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, I need to. You said to vote for the federal level. 3 or 4 local governments will come together to select one person to go to the federal. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because there will be carved out federal constituency.
So who votes for this thing? Is it the people that vote for this person that goes to the top, or just the assembly members that vote for this person that goes to the federal level?
The local government people will vote for the representative.
So all of them are voted for at the same time?
Not at the same time, different days. The days for local government election will be different. The days for regional assembly election will be different. The day for federal House of Assembly. So it's 3 days they are voting. You understand?
So somebody will come out and say, I want to represent these 3 local government areas.
And in the regional House of Assembly.
Yes. In regional. And then you have to support that person on that day. Everybody will choose to support that person. Then another person will come out and say, I want to represent the federal government. Then the 3 local governments, or how many all the local governments of that region will select that person, or how does it work?
This time around, you know, that's why I'm saying that if you read the constitution where there is a way you carve out the federal constituency, regional constituency, you know, because regional constituency now we are considering the population. So in the regional constituency now we have 3 local governments forming a constituency in the region. In federal constituency now we have about 6 local governments forming a constituency that will vote for, that will now represent that constituency in the federal House of Assembly. You get so it's graduating up like that.
So in other words, you are going to have 3 types of elections instead of 2 types that they normally have now.
Yes.
Is that not adding to the
House of Assembly
governance cost?
You say what?
Is that not going to add to cost of governance?
No, there's no cost now. Everything is computer now. It's just to readjust the system or put the pictures of those that are coming to contest. You are not printing any ballot papers. You are not printing. Everybody is at home.
If you don't print any ballot paper, there is no way to verify results.
No, as you are doing the voting, the computer is counting it.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
counting it, but
yes,
there's no
and
hard
the
copy.
result will be displayed immediately at the end of the election. Maybe you are fixing 3 hours for election. As people have voted the last 3 hours, the numbers of people as they have voted for them will show with their picture. Candidate A, 40 votes. Candidate B, so to show there on the screen on your phone. So there is no, we are not going for any next chairman to read any election. We are seeing the figure as the way it's automatic on the system. It's computer control.
Sorry,
So
forefathers. This is on the assumption that everybody has got a smartphone. How about people that don't have access to a smartphone
you see,
or a laptop or a
okay, good,
computer?
okay, good. There will be awareness first of all.
It can be done. You can go and do it in a library, e-library.
No, you can even use your friend's phone. The important thing is the NIN, because if you do it 2 times now, the system will reject you because it will know you have already voted with your NIN. Your details are already there in the system. So another person can still use that same phone again. You put his own NIN, do his own
I
voting.
think I think the better thing will just get a e-library, because on a very good day, how many people will you give your phone in the village to do that? So just get an
Okay,
e-library.
like you said, e-library can be there. Local government can just create a center where people don't have
Exactly, local government. Yes. The department
because
But when
e-library
you
in the
create
local
that
government.
center, when you create that center, well, how about having those thugs going there to destroy them?
there's
To
no
cause
ballot
havoc
box
there.
there,
No,
just
no,
the phone.
no. You can go
It's
there and
only phone
destroy
that is there.
whatever
If they destroy
vote
the
has been
computer,
done.
there is still a destruction.
Yes, yeah. Even if you destroy the data that's already voted is already sent already, so you can only destroy
No,
it
what
and
I'm trying, look, you
You
don't
can
get
prevent
me.
people from voting.
You can have
it's
thugs
serious.
going there to prevent you from accessing that the
Yeah.
computer for those that
No,
don't have computer.
it's not computer per se, it's your mobile phone. It's mobile phone they will
Okay.
put there that you just put your NIN and the
No,
whole
no. I think we are talking two different things here. Look, I said, how many people can you give a mobile phone to? You understand, to do so? That's why I said e-center, like e-library. So you now said, okay, maybe an office or a department can be created in every local government, whereby they can go there, as in they can have internet access, maybe from a laptop or a computer or wherever, you understand? Because definitely it can't be mobile phone. It's too small for that kind of stuff, you understand? So it's maybe a computer can be there whereby people can line up and go there, access the portal, put their NIN and whatever details and whatever, and
in
bring
fact,
out the polling.
what I really
So
propose is that
if the
since
tout go there and destroy, that means the tout can only go there to stop the process. Because if you destroy the computer, it's the same thing as stopping the process. If you chase the people out of the place, the
Exactly.
same thing
Look,
as stopping the
P, that's
process.
what I'm saying. Like during the last election, we saw people were prevented from even casting their votes. So
you
But
see
this time
it's
around,
the
the only
same thing.
difference is that there's no
No,
ballot paper per
no.
se.
It's the
this
it's the
time
same
around,
thing.
see,
Even if you
my
chase
brother,
them,
see this time around, what is going to be in the voting center is just one or two mobile phones. So if anybody go there now to destroy one or two mobile phones, he has not disrupted the election. You can still go to another place and use another mobile phone to do your election. You get my point? Because you
of
always
course,
spoil
yeah, maybe.
the mobile phone, you have not disrupted the working system of the server.
Yeah,
The server will
the
be
server is still there, or still open anytime, any day for
But
anybody.
the area I'm trying to get to is one, you are going to have hard copies. Without hard copies, if elections are closed, you can't verify it. That's one. You need hard copies to verify, because when they have to do a recount or anything, you don't have it. And there's always a potential for hacking. When we are talking about sophisticated nations, they can decide who becomes your leader. So that's another one. There is also the issue of the presidency. How do you select for presidency?
like
Um,
like I said, the issue of prime ministership, not president this time around. From each region now,
It's the same thing, it's just a
representative.
name.
Eh?
It's the same thing. It's just name. It's the same thing. It's just a
okay, so
name.
from each region, so
Yes, from
how
each
do you
region.
select a prime minister? That's
Like I said, it's rotational. So any region that will provide the prime minister, you select from the members from that region. It's among them that you pick the prime minister. You get it? So if it
Okay,
is
so
Northwest,
the entire
if it is,
region,
yes, if
will vote, but the whole country will not vote.
the whole country is voting for for your representative. You are voting for your own representative
No,
for your
no.
local government.
What I'm asking is that the whole country will not vote for the prime minister.
No,
As in for
no.
the head of the country.
Nobody vote for any prime minister. It's among the representative from a region that will
Okay, it's
pick the
only
prime minister.
representative that can select the prime minister.
Then you
Yes,
see,
that's it.
Okay,
Uh-uh.
The important thing is that let it come from a region.
Oh.
Then after
No.
5 years, you move to another region. After 5 years, so
you
that
see?
it will be
Sorry.
rotational.
The representatives that will select that leader are not going to come from all over the country.
No, it's among
You
them.
see, that's the thing I said. That
Only if people. Oh, no. That it would be a no for so many people.
That's what we
See,
say.
why
That's the
you
first
say
part.
it
That
will be a
individual voting will not work.
No, because everybody wants to have a say in who governs them.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That the interest should be more on your local government. At that level, at that level, see,
the president always has power to do things that will undermine local government. That's the
that's
power
what I'm
of
saying,
the
that
leaders.
we need a constitution that will reduce the power of the president. The president should not just be interfering in what is happening
No problem.
internally.
That
It
has
only come up with policy.
nothing to do with voting. It has nothing to do
That's
with
what I
voting.
was talking about, direct democracy. Now you are putting it in as if local government. My fear is that, or my concern is that if people feel like only one region will participate in the selection of a leader,
In a nutshell, what is even trying to say is, when voting for the head of the state, the head of the country, the country is going through the election process will not be indirect primaries. So like we have indirect primaries. That's what you are saying right now. So like indirect primaries is Congress that nominates the governor. You understand? In a party Congress that nominates the governor. It's not the entire people. But direct primaries is where everybody in the party will be the one to vote whoever wants to be their flag bearer when it comes to governorship election. It's the same process, the same method you want to apply when in this your new nation now, that if they want to vote for anybody who wants to represent the head of the country, lead the country, that's like, so it's like indirect election, so to speak, if there's anyone like that. So, but
Because
definitely
at that level now, the people have been voted for to represent their local government, their constituency, and everything. So when they are there now, and it is their turn, it is the turn of that region to provide the prime minister. You are picking from among them. It's just like what you have in UK, similar to that.
What if the prime minister is not my choice? What if it's not my choice?
You say what?
What if the prime minister is not my choice? What if the so-called prime minister is not my choice?
How? I don't understand.
Okay, now I voted you according to you right now, right? When it comes to local government, we voted electronically to get our local government, whatever, no problem. Settled, right? Good. Now it now comes to who is leading the country. So you are now saying in that election, I don't have rights to vote, or I cannot vote. It's only those that I have asked to represent me that has the power to elect the leader of the country.
You have voted for your representative now. Wait, now you are already voted for your representative. Your representative now that will vote for the person that will be prime minister when they get to the House of Assembly. So that you now reduce the.
Who will not be the function of the prime minister?
You say what?
Okay, what will not be the function of the prime minister? What will be the function of the prime minister? What will be the
prime minister is the head of government now.
And to do what? To do what? What are his duties?
You are the head of government. You are the one that will form among the other members in the National Assembly. You pick people that will be the prime minister, as there will be the ministers of other ministries. You get it?
Okay.
So
can any of his duty, any of his function affect me? Any of his decision, can any of his decision or function affect me as an individual in that country?
You see, what they are after, what their job is mainly to bring out policies that will be implemented at local government level. You get my point?
That's what I'm asking now. Can his policy affect me in the local government, individual? Can the prime minister's policy, can it affect me?
Okay, give me an example of policies that will affect you, because the institutions are already there to provide you services. The federal, the politicians that are voted for are only going to ensure that the institutions are working. So they are not really going to do things that will affect you negatively, because your institutions to give you healthcare, to give you education, to give you basic services are already established. So
in the country, in the country, look, country grows, right? In America, in America, UK, all those first world country, they have basic amenities. They have it. But they secret policies, that will develop the country, that will either make or mar the country.
That's what I'm saying now.
Those natural policies are already there. You understand? The natural, they provide security, provide healthcare, water, these are social amenities. Yes, it's there in Western world. But policies that are being made by the president can destroy or make the country. You understand? So that's what I'm asking. Regardless of whatever they're enjoying, policies can also make the country. So if that president make policy that I don't support, I don't have the right to say no.
It is not an authoritarian system. It is a parliament. Even prime minister have his own contribution to make. Other members will still have to agree to it, 2/3. So those things are still there. So it's not a dictatorial system. It's not authoritarian that you can just do like president, say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I want. No, you still have to pass through the house and it will be deliberated before it will come out as a policy for the whole country to implement, for the local government to implement. You get my point? So when we say democracy, it's people's government. And you have voted for your representatives. This one is not representing the people of your local area. So when you get to the House of Assembly, there is talking in your favor, in your interest. So any policy they are coming up with, it will make sure that it is not detrimental to his own people. So it's not just one man show. It is a group of people.
I don't have your point. I get your point, but my own worry now, my own worry is this, or where I'm saying, like, what you are saying is possible or is achievable, but the kind of government we practice right now is also achievable if they choose to do the right thing. If the people are really, really, really willing to hold them accountable, if they are serious about holding the leaders accountable, it's still achievable. That is my argument.
You are right to some extent, but it is not achievable fully because of the immunity they are having. That has made them oppressors, that have made them what they are not. They believe that you cannot tell them what they say is final. You can't just challenge them. That is why it is not achievable in Nigeria.
Now, see where I come about law enforcement, enforcing the law. Now, hold on, let's put it this way. Look at Yaya Bello, for instance, now, right? He's got immunity in his 8th year. Now, has he got immunity now? No. You understand?
Okay, look at what is happening now. He has not got immunity, but somebody with immunity is protecting him.
Okay, now you see, now you see where
the present governor is protecting him. So those are some of the things. And at the end of the day, let me say something again. Wait, let me say something. If eventually they take him to court now, and he gets there, the next thing he will go and do plea bargaining. Out of the 80 billion naira he has stolen, he will say, okay, I'll pay 10 billion. Leave me alone. And you disappear with 70 billion. So that's some of the problems we are having in Nigeria that is not making Nigeria to work. That's why some of these ex-governors are free today. They go there, do plea bargaining, all the money they stole, they refuse to return. They just pay back little. And they are there in the Senate. They are there in their ministers.
I agree. One thing I will say about this immunity is this. Look, the immunity, there's no immunity that covers Yaya Bello. No existing immunity.
We are saying the same thing now. Immunity does not cover him, but the current governor is now protecting him.
No, it's not protecting him.
What do you think?
That the person that ought to do his job is not doing his job. It's not so. Okay, you're just like you are there right now, right? You have your glasses on your face. You are not supposed to wear that glass at night. You are wearing it right now. It is my job to take it from your eye, not to wear it. Right? But I'm refusing to take the glass from your eye. You are saying no, it's because you are too strong. That's why I cannot take glass. But it is me who refuse to take it from your eye. That's why you are still putting it on. You understand? So it's not that the immunity is there. Because if you say the deputy governor does not have immunity, the wife of the governor does not have immunity, how can an ex-governor not have immunity? It's not possible.
No, I'm not saying the ex-governor has immunity. I'm saying the current governors has immunity. And it's using immunity to protect Yaya Bello.
What about Yaya Bello is this now? So if any governor, okay, like I said, it's a institution that is failing us. If ex-governor fuck up, no problem, fuck up now. After you come out, if the what's it called, the law hammer fall on your head and deal with you decisively, the next governor that is about to exit will know that if I fuck up, if after my tenure, immunity is over, they will still come for me and deal with me. So by so doing, nobody will want to error. But because they know that the law is weak, the law is not enforceable. Like you said, maybe because if they catch them and they go do plea again, because the penalty for diversion of funds or embezzlement of funds, if they plea bargain, it's okay. If you drop so amount, and that according to the law, we let you go, and your case is you are free to go, then that law should be amended to say no. If you thought you steal, you will drop every fact. You will drop the money and even pay interest as an ex-governor. So if that law is amended to that, because I will not say they should kill them like China does that, like you should unalive them like China. No, I was like, okay, if you are the corrupt governor, once you leave office, you are being prosecuted and you are found wanting, you pay the total, to the glass kobo that you stole, and you now still pay interest. You understand? So if the law deal with you in that format, trust me, there's no stupid governor that will say, after my tenure, I want to embezzle. When he knows after his tenure, it's going to be dead to decisively. Nobody will try it. But like I said, because the law are not enforced fully, that's why we are where we are. That's why we are where we are. Trust me. Look, I know black people. If you slap them 1, 2, 3, just like all of us are here right now, you are the strongest person. Maybe you are a colonel, so you are supposed to be the strongest person here right now. We are looking up to you as our leader. If one small boy from nowhere come mess you up anyhow, fear not let me look that small boy now, because I don't say, if this small boy fit deal with my guy, I thought that be that now. So psychologically, I'm defeated because we are looking up to you as a colonel general who's mighty and powerful. But one guy from one community just come, maybe mess you up, like say nothing happened. Automatically, psychologically, we are defeated because you are our only hope of strength or whatever. So that is, if Nigeria decide to say no, let's deal with these ex-governors decisively. Go down to the local government level. Fear not let anybody try anything. But because the institutions are toothless, like toothless bulldog, that's why all this nonsense is happening. Nothing else.
You see,
I think you have a point.
You have a point.
I like your work in terms of an element of the rotational, and especially local government. Let's means know what everybody will support local governments because they are closer to the people, having a lot more agency. However, the areas that is on when it starts going to the state level and the national level, that or now regional level and national level, that's when I feel like there's a little bit of a shaky area there. That especially the presidential one, I don't see. Like the other 6 will reject it. Like, why should I not have a say in who is going to be president? Nobody is going to accept that at all. So that would be a tweak that will need to be put in place. Otherwise, that thing's not going to go anywhere. In terms of cost of governance, it's not very clear. This is not going to still lead to an element of cost, because how do you even start selecting people? Because then the federal government has to still choose who to cover and who not to cover. By the time the whole region is full of millions of people, by the time they start 2,100 people start popping up to want to govern, how do you select who is going to represent?
See, that's what I'm saying, that the system, computer will do all those things. When you vote now, okay, there was a time in this country today, we have more than 70 political parties. That people go to the ballot box, ballot office there. They are looking for the ballot paper. They are looking for your parties. You will be looking for the logo of your party. So, but this time around, you are using your phone that will show the pictures of people that you want to vote for. You know the person, you know the person's name, you know his face. So you click the person. It's not a matter of moment you see the person you want to vote for, you click his face, the name, everything is there. The computer register it. You are finished your own.
So you just trust computer to hold everything.
Hold on. If you can see, say, assuming 50 people or 30 people, individuals want to go and contest. If you can find
the local government, for example, yeah,
exactly, in local government, 30 people want to go and contest. If you can be patient enough to find 30 people, to find one of your candidates inside 30 persons, what's difficult in finding one of your party inside 17 party.
I say party politics is a divisive process. Is dividing the people, because people will end up paying money and then looking for Godfather, and then
somebody wants to win, they will still compete against other persons.
It's the way we choose to play it, okay? It's the way we choose to play it. It's the way we choose to play it. You understand?
What I'm saying now. So why do you even need the party? Why do you even need the party in the first place? Because to do what? We have manifestos that's already in the constitution. So why are you duplicating all these efforts that is already there in the
okay,
constitution?
sorry. Listen, let me dissect some points. First, when individuals compete against each other, they still have issues. They will still create division amongst them. Then, in terms of the constitution being already written, like if let's say you are implementing some part of the constitution, you find out that cost is getting out of control. There are two ways to deal with it. One of them will be like, let's get money from the elites. The other one will be like, let's get money, let's cut costs. So there are two different ways, and then ideology starts showing up. And when ideology starts showing up, you are going to have camps that will show up. Two sides would say, okay, one side would say tax the poor, the other side would say tax the rich. Then they will still gang up and still form those alliances. If you have any example where non-partisan states have ever existed, I would like to study it, because because when we are discussing things, there has to be a way that shows that it does exist in nature and survive. Not that should rule it out, but you because if you can criticize it and see its faults, then to dismiss that criticism, you have to have evidence for it. It's what I mean.
Let me help you, i.e. the invention of Nigerian Governors Forum. You understand? These people, they are from different party or from different state or different. They don't even know each other. You understand? But they decide to say, okay, regardless of the party, Southern Governors Forum, all of that is called coming together. These are people who were elected differently, who were voted for differently, different ideology, different language for different reason. But because of the stupid ideology, the greasy mentality that they have as governors, they now form Southern Governors Forum or Northern Governors Forum, where they can come together and liaise among themselves how to continually impoverish people. So if you still have this ideology, this individual people coming together, you understand? Just the way we have it in the Labour Party. They said no, everybody obedience. But by the time the Labour Party, like from Edo State, when they go to the Senate and House of Assembly, what did they do? They were doing also what they made now. They got there and like we do the same thing. You understand? So if you elect these individual people, greediness can still enter their mind, and one will still pollute the other person and say, okay, now that we have power, man, let's come together and be eating the money. Let's forget about the people. So it's the individual intent. It's not even the party that is pushing them to do it. It is what they choose, one greedy element that is in them that is saying, oh, we have the power now. The people have voted us. They believe in us. Let's use this advantage and cheat them. And they start doing it.
Let me come in now. You see, it's like we have forgotten the import of the constitution from the beginning. Like I said, there is that check and balance is still there. This time around, like I said, somebody asked who will be in opposition and everything. The civil servant, the workers, who knows that it is their duty to provide services to people, they will be in the opposition to the politicians that are coming in, not to come and usurp their job. That the politician's job is to come and oversee them to ensure that they are working. You know why? What is causing corruption in Nigeria today? Because politicians have usurped the job of the civil servant, giving them to their contractors.
No,
so let us understand.
As it is right now, not as it is right now. Nothing stop the citizen as it is right now in the country. Nothing stop the citizen to become opposition to the government. Nothing stops them, whether they're in a political party or not. It's just that they refuse to hold their leaders accountable. Nothing stops
now that today what we have today, why people are dying to enter politics, to enter government, because they know that when they get there, they will manipulate things and make money for themselves. But the work constitution are proposing, you cannot manipulate any institution to get money. Your own is to go there and see that they are doing their job. You will be opposition to them. They will be opposition to you because they are to do the job. You are to oversee. If they notice that you want to take over their job and give to contractors, they will go against you. If they are not doing the job well, you will ensure that they are doing the job well, because the people are there at local government to see the services that you are going to provide. So if two of you are not going there to provide the services and you are manipulating things to award job to contractors that will take the money and build mansion somewhere, they will rise up against you, your local government, and lay siege on your office there. So
I think
that is how it's supposed to be, so that government will be held accountable all the time. But what we have today is just like one emperor that is there, have the National Assembly, have the
not
State
like
Assembly
that.
in
The
their
one you
pocket.
are creating may be worse. The one you are
How?
creating may actually turn out to be worse.
How?
Because you have one of them, where you describe civil servants, they are basically unelected crazy dictators that will be riding the state affairs without anybody intervening. Even elected officials cannot intervene in what they are doing. That's one area.
See, if you don't provide services, people will be there to rise against you. That's what I'm saying. Their job is to give services. If you
My
now
point
divert
is
money,
that let me finish the point I'm making, because resources in a nation tends to change. Nations go through economic downturns and different things. So resources will change, and the civil servants, if you are saying they are the one that control the stuff, the government official cannot
they
tell
do
them
their job.
what to
I'm not
do.
saying they control stuff. The politicians control them, but they do their job. They are going to resist politicians that want to take over their job and give to contractors. Okay, look at what happened in National Assembly about some years back, where the workers in National Assembly have to rise against the clerk of National Assembly that
So
they
you
don't
are
want to
saying
pay.
that basically
Let me finish what I'm saying so
privatization
that
is
you
not allowed.
understand my point. So that they rise against the clerk, that the basic job like painting, electrical work, and all those things that is supposed to do in National Assembly, that the clerk has awarded it to contractor. Now the clerk don't have money to pay the workers, the civil servants that are supposed to provide maintenance. So they rose against him and they say, no, don't give our job to contractors, to outsiders. What are they there to do? What are they there for? They now say the guy didn't have money to pay again, didn't have money to pay the allowances because he said he has awarded contract. They rose against him and they have to resolve that matter and ensure that.
Dan,
So
I want to
that's how it's
understand where
supposed
you're
to
coming
be.
from. Are you saying that the civil servants will not allow, in any circumstances, politicians to award contracts to outside contractors like private institutions?
Because it's their work to do it. Okay, look at road maintenance now. Is it not the job of Minister of Works? So what the politicians should do?
But sometimes they may not be the most efficient people to do it.
You see,
Especially when the state is trapped.
In that case, why not get the efficient people? Because on a very good day, like as a civil engineer,
what are we talking? You employ the skilled laborers and let them do their work.
Come against that privatization of government work. You have Ministry of Works. There's supposed to be maintenance department. You understand? Whatever it is, because whoever have the skill to construct also have the skill to maintain. You get my point? So you have Ministry of Works who will do the budgeting, do the design, do the supervision, everything. You understand? Do the construction. You go and give it to road maintenance agency. Like what the fuck is that? Why will you do that?
No, it depends now. Like I said, when you are having problems in the economy, I've seen that in the UK where they have like something like the NHS and the government wants to cut money. The civil servants will push against it because they don't want to lose jobs and they feel like they do the job better, which they tend to do better. But the government has to cut money to pay debts, to do certain things, and things need to happen. So they say, okay, there's this private company that can do it cheaper at this time, that I need to lay off some civil servants. And then the civil servants will block it. When they block it, you know what is going to happen? The government doesn't have money to fulfill its debts or anything. Then the country goes into a sovereign and this financial crisis. And guess what? All those people will be fired. So we have to be careful. You have to take the holistic nature of capitalist economies, except you want to run socialist economies. You have to take that into account.
See, when you are talking of capitalist economy, it cannot work fully in Nigeria because we don't have the capital to do it. Now, the country that can successfully do a capitalist economy, they are developed nations, country with strong currency, like you people in UK, US, Europe, and because you have your currency that you are receiving as taxes in local currency. That your local currency you are receiving is the international currency the whole world is looking for to do business. So you can afford to give all your work to businessmen to privatize everything. But in a place like Nigeria, where you don't have the capital, where your capital is a local currency that you can only use within Nigeria, you have to ensure that you strengthen your institutions to do most of this job, so that you don't just enter debt unnecessarily, looking for contractors that will
Can
do
I
jobs
ask,
that.
do you have any nation that is running this type of system? Anything close to it?
Of course, go to China. China is developed today with the best infrastructure you can see. They have been done by their
Are you
workers.
calculating like a communist system then?
It's not a communist system. Don't let us make mistakes. How can you say it's a communist system when you have a lot of
I'm just trying to.
See,
But you just said it's China now.
It is in the past you can call them communist, communism and everything. Where under Chairman Mao,
This
when they
guy,
will
are
do
you
this,
still working as a communist state? Yeah.
it's not communist. See, what they are doing, you go to. That's why China was able to recover from to become from third world and became first world within a short time. They use their workers, they use their institutions to do all their things, not awarding contract, because they didn't even have the money to award contract. So at the end of the day, it worked out for them because their currency was so low. It was one of the lowest in the world as at that time. To the extent that when they now recovered, now they now started bringing in
my
investors
advice
and
to you is
everything.
that when you go to National Assembly, don't mention China there.
See, there is no how we will not mention, because China is a very good example. Do you know?
If they ask you for example of the system,
no, for me, what helped China?
What of Singapore? What of Singapore?
If you mention Singapore, but
Yes.
Singapore is a one-party state. It's a dictatorship. It was a dictatorship for a long time. So
Singapore is
I think in a way, Singapore is the closest to what you are describing. If you ask me,
because they made use of their institutions.
Singapore had a very powerful central government, which was Lee Kuan Yew.
Because Singapore is a city state, small city that like a local government in Nigeria. And that's why I say local government should be made
Singapore actually.
It doesn't matter. I think it's the willingness to do what you want to do. As far as what you're doing is the right thing.
There's no way a country can develop.
No matter how much right thing he wants to do, if he goes to National Assembly and tell them, what's the example of this thing that you got? China. They will be like, they will run away.
Frankly speaking, right? What really helped China?
No, I agree with you. See, I don't have any qualms, but they will run a mile if you mention China.
Because you are talking of communism as if it's something terrible, something dangerous, something bad.
That is bad.
You shouldn't be saying that. If you want I'm telling you about the people you have in National Assembly. They will not want to hear it.
They are capitalist in nation, or they don't want any government institution to work at all, because that's where they will benefit.
But most capitalist states are functional, though. Like in the world now, most of the capitalist states are doing well in terms of Western and some Eastern capitalist states. They are doing fine. So it's not the capital. I think Loco is selling the same thing. Jide, in a way, has said the similar stuff, and I'm saying similar stuff. It's not those things. It's not what you write in a paper in a constitution that is going to determine what I do well. It's the people. If the people decide that I'm going to fix my problem, I'm going to make sure our agriculture do well, we eat fine, our security is fine, our electricity is there. The constitution is not going to write that electricity for you if you are not ready. Nigeria is a big proof of that. We've written different type of constitution. Even the election, this thing that we ran, this last election, they thought it was bulletproof. And Nigeria broke the bulletproof and went past it with bad character. That should show you everything you need to see.
What I'm proposing is a document that will limit the excessive powers of these politicians. You see, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely. An average person, you give him privileges to do some things that he wasn't planned for. He will do it. It's only somebody that have the fear of God, maybe 1 out of 1 million. So in that case, from the onset, let's come up with a system that will limit, so that you are going there, your limitations. You will not go there and be thinking of making money within 2 weeks or so that you are in power. That's
Mr.
the
Connor,
essence
sir.
of what I've done.
Mr. Connor, sir, let me ask a
Yes.
question. Nigerian Governors Forum, do they have power?
But individuals have their own powers in their
Hold
state.
on, no. Nigerian Governors Forum, do they have power?
I don't reckon with those idiots. Those people, I just don't.
No,
I don't care
whether
about them
you like them or
because
you
I
don't
know
like
they are just privileged people benefiting from a system that is not working.
No,
So anything they do, I don't just want to follow up. What I'm after is how to change the system so that everybody will have his limitation and will know
the question
his
I'm
duty
asking,
and his
right?
role.
I say you don't, even if you don't like them, no wala, whether they are constitutionally okay, constituted or not.
Because they are just after their interest.
We know they exist right now because they are holding meeting, they are granting press meeting, people recognize them. Even
What has that one got to do for Nigeria now? Of what
so,
benefit?
that's why I said, do they have, as a collective now, as a forum, do they have power, yes or no?
Power to do what in the first place? This type of powers are you talking about? Is it power to make laws or power to
decide, power to change anything, like the way maybe a government will work, or a president to influence presidents, or influence decision making in the country?
Yeah,
all of them coming together as a forum, do they have power?
They have powers to do things that will benefit them. Okay, look at the time of Okonjo-Iweala. When Okonjo-Iweala was making some savings from excess crude oil sale, they all came together and said, no, that money belongs to the federation. Okonjo-Iweala should share the money. They used their influence to go to Supreme Court, and they forced Okonjo-Iweala to share that money. So those things are just what I'm saying, that
now,
we have to
hold
limit
on. Now,
the power of the politicians.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, you just agree that they have power. Now, these are governors who don't know each other before. They only became friends because they are all governors. They are not related. Some of them speak the same language. Some of them don't even know each other. Some of them don't even like each other. Some of them are from different parties, different religion. But they have one common interest that connects all of them together because they are all governors. And it was one person that started this whole nonsense to say, guy, as a governor from the south, if all of us join together and who make our forum strong, we can tell the president what to do, and he can't do anything. You understand? We can choose the president and choose all the senators. They say yes, we have power, and they became powerful, right? Good.
Yeah.
That same mindset. Put it in this local governments. You say you want to elect individually that are not coming from party. You understand? All of them knowing that they've been elected individually. You understand? From not being in a party. You understand?
Yeah.
After having that power, the same mindset, that devil can also enter them to say, oh, all of us now will be elected as the reps of different local government or regions. Since we now have the power, let us all come together and sit and twist the government and twist the country and see privileged people. It will still happen if there's a greedy bastard among all of them, and all of them agree to say, yes, let's make money for ourselves. They will still do it. So that's why, like, no matter how you do it, the people, if institutions, to say, look, you error, because that's why independence, all those independent institutions is very good. Like independent, INEC is independent, EFCC is independent, judiciary is independent, everything is independent. If they have power on their own, generate their own fund, they can pay themselves salary, or they create a system whereby their salary comes from the federal post directly to their account, not even controlled by executive or whatever anybody. It's just their salary is coming automatically from CBN account straight to their account. Nobody has to sign. As far as you're in the office, your salary is going there automatically. Nobody can influence your salary. You understand? If they have that kind of system in place, then they now know that if I, as a judge, I can tell Tinubu, get out because you this and this, I can pay that against you and win you without being afraid that the the secretary of the federation will come after me or remove me from CGN or whatever. You understand? If I don't have that fear in my mind, and I know that these people can pay me salary, they cannot use the EFCC to hunt me. We are all independent. You understand? Things will work. So regardless of the type of government we run, it's when institutions work, no matter the name we call it, no matter what we practice, if the law enforcement are doing their job and we have independency of every institution, no interference, okay, trust me, Nigeria will be the most beautiful country to stay in this world. But because witches and wizards full everywhere, they full our backyard. Even with our church, there are many for the witches and wizards where they fly, but we don't know. Or would they see they say that they fly? We like them, say that they fly because we they benefit from them. That because not they talk. That is Nigeria's number one problem. Nothing else. Trust me. I've seen this like back of my hand. These people, they are demons. They don't sleep at night. I don't know how they sleep. They don't sleep, but these people are demons.
Because ego is involved now. They won't sleep. That's what I'm saying. So, but if you have a situation where they know that they won't even see the ego, the civil servants are so powerful to stop them from dipping their hand in the ego, and they also have the power to stop civil servants from dipping the hand into the coffers of the government. So the whole thing will work in the favor of the people.
If EFCC is self-funded, and they run their things by themselves, and they know the federal government do not have power to use them at their own will, what do you think will happen? EFCC,
if they have their own funding,
if they have their own funding, self-funded, and they can appoint themselves, do their thing and run their office.
They will abuse the power later. Now, trust Nigerians now. How much the EFCC have been collecting money from people, recovering money? Have they been rendering everything? Whether
we run party election or non-partisan election, individual nasty thief. If you want corrupt, you go corrupt. So what
I'm saying is this: that from individual angle now, you are not answerable to one Godfather. Even if you get to that office, it is based on your credibility, your popularity, your acceptance in your local area that makes you there. So you are not answerable to one Godfather somewhere that you say, "Oh yeah."
I think first thing first, right?
Manipulate contracts for me, and you know that you are there. You say.
I think first thing first, right?
And you know that when you are,
let the people try to enforce the autonomy of local government first, right? Because it's one step at a time. If the people are now self-aware to say, okay, let's make sure local government is autonomous, you understand? Then once you see that autonomous, that yes, the governor does not have influence in their election, you understand? The governor, they have their own funds to fund their team by themselves. If that happens, I think, and the stupid local government now, because most of them are city, these local governments now, if they are still willing to work for the people,
that is where the people will come out on the because now people can't come against local government because local government does not even have funds to pay salary, talk less of providing services. But by the time the people are aware that social amount of money is what local government is making every month, and they are not seeing the roads, they are not seeing drugs in the hospital, they are not seeing the schools being equipped, they will protest and go and lay seat. So at that level, yes,
the council protest with the government too.
Let's this topic, I think the colonel is going to come back again so that we can trash it. We've really flogged it today, like we flogged it left and right, and I think I've gone somewhere now, and I think this area where the presidency is selected by only one region. I know some people that are asking for a referendum from only one region in Nigeria. That's not going to fly. People are not going to agree. But there's this other thing I wanted to just talk about on a more lighter note in terms of Nigeria. But I think we're going to have a bit of a break before we go into that one. That one is about this idea that Nigerians are arrogant and, loud. Especially the arrogant part. Because when I was in Nigeria recently, what I found, I was really shocked actually. Because I used to believe that Nigeria, this Mr. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am kind of stuff? I think Nigerians do that. Not that I encountered it throughout this period when I was there. But the level of humility I saw in Nigeria is scary. And I think somebody said it here earlier on about how Nigerians respect people so much that even the people that they are respecting so much start letting it get to their head. And I think it can get to your head in Nigeria. Because when I go to Nigeria, the way they will refer to our Oga, this, sir, Oga, sir, it's just too much. And when you get that kind of stuff, you can see how it can get into people's head that they want to remain that kind of status. They don't want to come down at any cost. And I'm beginning to wonder whether that tradition of over a kind of elevating people so high, which is not a bad thing to respect people, but is that also toxic in the sense that it's making people feel like they have to remain at the top at all costs because they like the feeling of being regarded as superior to other people. And at the same time, I also see that the one I saw also is that a lot of people are quite humble in Nigeria. Very, very humble. I couldn't believe it. Like people that are higher up, like when they want to greet you, they say boss. I'm like, who are you calling boss? You have a higher position than I am. Who are you calling boss? Don't even start with that. So I really, it really turned my head upside down. I'm like, why?
Sorry, that was not respect.
What does that mean then?
No, that was not respect. Sorry. If you see, fuck off first, just fuck off first, they'll change it for you. No.
Yeah, but it's a form of respect now.
No, it's not a form of respect. It's a trend.
It's a trend, eh?
It's a way from respect. Yeah, there's no the meaning you think is behind it is not what it is. It's just like
it's just like Oga.
No, but it's like greeting now. It's like greeting people now.
No. It's like in Port Harcourt, my side, they're like Sinyama, hello, Sinyama. So Sinyama, it's just a trend. But you fuck up. Cinema, what is the word you say? Because I call Cinema. What is the word you say? I will change that for you. That's what you just be.
What you said is true.
This is it.
That's what just be.
The thing is this: an average Nigerian is a respectful person, but that doesn't mean that he thinks himself inferior.
No.
You get the point. They will respect you because they know that yes, business-wise or opportunity-wise, they can get from you.
Exactly.
So, which is not respect. That is not respect. They're like they want to be loyal to get something, not like what they respect or forceful.
But it's still not still. It is still part of that respect. It's part of it because they have considered that this person
they can get something
useful to me. You get the point. It's part of this. It's normal human interaction. But the moment that and that makes them tolerate you to a point. But the moment they see that, because that's why you hear some prover, they will say, because I want chop meat, I go come they call cow brother. What they are trying to let you know is that at the point, they will let you know on a personal note that, hey, but guy, you don't pass your boundary. Wait till they happen.
Yeah.
You get the point. So, and that is what some other people don't have. The thing is, the kind of environment we are in Nigeria, it has cooked everybody that we can tolerate to a point personally, and we revolt, we not go see your face again. So, and those points, when you go outside, for example, it sounds as if you are loud, it sounds as if you are arrogant, and it sounds as if you are overconfident at the point. But that is just the way it is. You can't be Nigerian and not be loud if you enter Danfo. Danfo, they give change to 5 people. Say, okay, all of them go share them. You know, those 2 little things, eventually you just have to break. And maybe you are driving. There was a time when I was driving in Lagos. I would be very gentle. I was surprised myself when I began to show hands, your papa. Because eventually it gets to me.
And I that is trend now. So you follow the trend.
No, not even that. You see, but that is the thing. But now that thing has put in me it has gotten me it has heightened my level at my tolerance that come. There are some things you don't tolerate, you quickly go. So if I meet somebody else now, for example, outside of the country, there's a way I would respond that because of my wiring. I will know, hey, please, you don't do that to me. I'm sorry. That person say, oh, I like your confidence one way or the other. It will appear in some other decisions I'm making that you see it as confidence. That's just what I'm trying to say. But that doesn't mean I'm not respectful. Only that at a point,